And welcome. It's Monday. It's 12:30, and it's time to get your wieners out. It's Roller Wiener Monday. Welcome, everyone. You can also bring out a taco if you wish. Whatever you like today. It's going to be a great day. It was only 40s today here, 40 degrees. Boy, that's like, I don't know, it's like 112 centigrade. I don't know what that is. I never learned metrics. So either way, that's pretty chilly. And so get ready for that. We had a frost warning the other day. Holy mackerel. Hey, there's a poll. They asked a bunch of drivers what the biggest deal was, the most stress that caused them. What is the most stress that causes you? Do you agree with all these drivers that filled it out? There's a challenge to the new hours of service rules. That's pretty awesome. A bunch of groups are challenging the rules in court. You have to love when that happens, being as they're just about to come out here. Nikola, their new truck. Remember that? Oh, does it drive or does it not drive? Is it fraud? Is it not fraud? Pretty interesting in their video where they show it cruising. Oh, is it cruising? That's a good question. Mirrorless trucks are approved. Hey, get rid of those mirrors. They're going to challenge. There was an AB5 challenge, I should say, and about the contracts. Ooh, not good. Court said no thank you to that. There's an hours of service waiver through December 31st. There's all kinds of stuff going on. Holy mackerel. There's so many things happening. I can't even believe it. All the stuff that's going on. Yikes. Right. I know. What? Oh my gosh. There's too many things happening. There's a bunch of other stuff going on too. I have stock prices. What's happening out there? Trucker Hershey was first the other day. And Captain Flatbed made it in first today. Beat me in even. So that is good. So it's good to see it today. Jeanette, hello there. What's happening? Mark Ely is here today. Hello. Misty, good morning. Kevin Squared is here. We'll put it that way. Columbia George, hello there. Robert is here. Chris, hello from Tacoma. Nice. What's happening out there today? Imperials NYC, hello there. What's going on out there? Today, it's going to be a great day for driving anyway. Sunny out today. Hey, Mark Fu, what's happening? And you're welcome. Jerry is here. I see that right. Wild Bill. Boy, it's almost time, isn't it? Almost time. Yes, Trucker Hershey was at the Iowa 80 chroming up his truck from the chrome shop there. That's pretty good. Installing that on a 34-hour break. Eddie, what's happening? George Costanza's here. The state flower should be the Schneider egg. Yeah, I know. I mean, that is crazy, and I totally agree with you. There's so many barrels. You go mile after mile after mile, and then there's 3 dudes doing something, and then you go 12 more miles and nothing. Look, only close the part of the road off that you're using. Okay? Holy moly. Can we do that for one time? Good gracious. I don't have to do all this other garbage. Ugh, I agree. Trucker Hershey saw snow on top of mountains when he went to Utah. I know. Not on the roads, but there was snow in Wyoming, right? Just the other day. So that was something. The state is bad, George Costanza. I agree. Indiana is the worst freeways. Cassius King Trucking is here. Well, but we have the best. We're the best at something. Anyways, popcorn. How about that? Popcorn. Indiana shut down 60 miles of highway to patch 10 holes. I know, and they don't even patch them right. It's like they just dump stuff in there and hope for the best. John Staniszewski. I love it. From Pittsburgh. What's going on? Air Gunner Bob. Hello there. George Wilson, hope no one is caught up in the fiasco in the Bishop Ford at Sibley at 30,000 pounds of steel. Great. What year was that truck made? I always see those going in and out of there. What's that, some Ford Aeromax that rolled over or something? Trucker Hershey's going to Lincoln, Nebraska to Syracuse, New York. Great. Can you run I-10 all winter? I wish. Boy, wouldn't it be great if we could just close off most of the country? Christina's going to make lasagna. I hope you brought enough for everyone. Who remembers that from the movie, right? Greetings from Dawn Foods in Denver, Gear Jammer. So, how many days have you been at Dawn Foods? Another food service. Are you picking up or delivering? What's happening? Vanjastan Diggs. Love it. What's happening? Trucking Answers. What's going on? Hope I got that right. The anticipation is killing me. What's the story behind the Roller Wiener Monday? Hey, Monday, it's always Roller Wiener Monday. There's no bad day for a Roller Wiener, but Monday is better than other days. Monday is better than other days. Good afternoon, Kelly. Best day of the week, a fun time when wieners and tacos come together. Exactly. When we can come together in peace and harmony. Chris, 56. Close Sierra, England. There was a driver from England that rejected their lawsuit, too. That settlement. Oh, a driver says, I don't think so, and rejected it. That was pretty good. The White Knight, check out your over-the-road pay, and there's nothing there. Does that mean that there was no pay? I went to Sierra, England in 2017. Will the class action suit affect you? Yes. That suit goes back, wait a minute. Didn't that end? No. Through 16, I'd have to look. All right, I'm seeing 16. I don't know if that's when the start or ended. I don't know. I'd have to look and see what the dates are. I have to look and see the dates on that. Rick Ann, good morning. Ronnie Keynes. Carnes. Hey, what's happening? Never heard of it. Let's see. How do you explain great freight with so many people still unemployed? Well, there's not. People are unemployed, but other people are buying a ton of stuff. Everybody seems to be buying it from their house, getting money from here or there. I don't understand it really, but rates are high, and they said they're expected to stay high for the rest of the year. So with the December 31st now is the end of the where you don't have to run logs. So if you're running this stuff, you have the rest of the year to make money at it too. Cash is King Trucking, can you imagine having the patent on those orange barrels? 25 cents a barrel. You know, I think they rent them. I think they rent those from some company because they come out and bring a bunch of them. I think I read that. They pay so much a month or something per barrel to rent them. It's that would be a great scam on that. Did the FMCSA include the split wiener provision? They should. They should put it on Monday. You should be able to do whatever you want with your wiener, even split it. Eric Hunter, Bob, last day of home time. I get to watch the show from the couch. Well, I appreciate that, and thank you very much. That's quite nice of you. And yeah, enjoy it from a couch because back to work tomorrow, apparently. Where are you going to go? Do you already have a load? Wyoming State Flowers, a snowflake. Nice. It was a couple weeks ago, right? Just got here at Dawn Foods, loading for Houston. Oh, okay, good. You'll be leaving tomorrow sometime. Hopefully they load you faster than that. Food service, never great on that stuff. Luke is on vacation, Virginia Beach. Nice. Holy mackerel. Of course, you went there and are going to do a 14-day quarantine, of course. Cassius King is live right now. Spread it out. Yeah, I know. He's live and here at the same time. He has like 7 phones across his windshield if you've never seen the truck. Did you see the email about the Blue Beacon? I didn't get to emails on Mondays. What is going on at the Blue Beacon? Oh, Blue Beacon is doing a giveaway, right? Isn't that what you wrote? Some type of giveaway? Wilhelm, hello there. Ralph is here. Good afternoon. Todd, hey, Mark, on your way to Jackson, Tennessee. At the end to Jacksonville, Illinois. Wow, that's pretty good. So you get extra. Please go to the hours of service in December, not authorized. So if you're hauling an exempt load, groceries, hand sanitizer, masks, gloves, that kind of thing. Groceries to replenish a store, it says actually. So you can't go between two places, but groceries that are replenishing a store, you don't have to do hours of service until December 31st. Now, if you're a company driver, your company can make you follow the hours of service. They go, well, no, we're not doing that. And turns out a lot of companies are not going along with this. But as an owner-operator, hey, just toss that logbook in the back and get on your way. That's right. That's really something, too. Do you have a slide for Joe's Roller Wiener Emporium and Interpretive Center? Oh, I should get a slide. I don't have one on the software thing. I will get it ready, right. Why don't you invite a vampire into your house? He's the only guy that sleeps. Yeah. I made it again, Big Huge Mike. Yeah, seeing you a couple weeks now. That's good. It's good to see you. Kenneth B., good afternoon. Heading down to Houston with a load of tomatoes. Hope the storm doesn't wash you out. Some of the interstates down there are closed depending where you are, so be sure to check that in advance. Heard Certainty Shingle Company has rates through the roof. Wow. 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 Marty is here. Hello there. What's up, California hauler? What's going on in California? Are you still, are you all burned up today? Holy mackerel. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, right. And this is where you should be every day. People that are off today, this is what's happening for them, I assume. Well, they're on their couch. Nice. You're watching, what's up, California hauler? All right, Mark, I'm watching on both of my phones. I have a left mark and a right mark, just like Twix. Which one's the better one? And am I in stereo that way, or am I delayed? It's pretty good. Eric Gunner Bob, load from UP to Williamsburg, 850 miles. That's not bad, and you already have a load when you leave your house, so that's a place going to keep you running. That's what they ought to do. The blue streak, and I'm enjoying the show from my throne made by Kohler. Paul Harris, I'll take it. Any way you do it. Is it heated? I lost my mandatory FMCSA green book. Everyone is supposed to have. Well, you can buy those anywhere. So, and I've never actually been asked for it. So there's that too. No quarantine. I'll have 2 weeks of roller wiener delivery from Amazon. Bring them every day. George Costanza's in Cleveland, head to Miami. That's pretty good. 32,000 pounds of crap. First time you're ever going to Florida. What is crap? Or is it literally like crap? And if you have like a dry van, if any advice would be you're probably going to drive back to Georgia without a load. So, Trucker Hershey, the Blue Beacon last week, if a truck got washed, giving 5 drivers $10,000 and 109 got $500 gift card. Did you get one of those? That's good. How about a second channel called Roller Wiener Answers? Oh, we can answer only questions about rolled processed meat products. The lasagna is only a cake pan. It'll last you a week. Well, there's a lot of people here. It better be a big cake pan. So that's right. Wild Bill's here. Who do I drive for? Well, as I always say to new people, I do this show every week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And I don't tell people where I work because it just keeps them out of my videos. So I think it works out better that way. And I don't recruit for them either. How many drivers are out here just recruiting for their company? Yikes. Forget that. I'm not recruiting for them, and let them do all that. I think it works out better that way. Not too much, just chilling, getting ready to take off and hit the road, California Holler. All right. Hopefully coming this way. Get out of that, get out of the smoke. Are you a lawyer? Real NYC. People do think that, but in fact, not a lawyer. Amazingly. Houston wasn't flooded. No, Houston isn't flooded, but depending if you're coming, I don't know where he's coming from, so you could be coming across, 10 down there or whatever, and there's a lot of problems going that way. That's what I'm saying. Check your roads in advance. Oh, the drawing's tomorrow. Oh, all right. Great. They don't have us go to the Blue Beacon, so I don't get to get in on that. E. Griffin, Western Express, nice. Gave you an oversized load to run over the weekend without permits. Told me you don't need permits. I checked, I need permits, not moving until I get them. Hey, don't worry about that. You don't need permits. I'm surprised about that. I mean, look, even Western, which is not known, for its great pay, hauling an oversized load without permits gives them huge problems. So I'm surprised they would do that. Most companies that size of Western Express have a compliance department that only deals with this kind of thing. So even though, I'm not a fan of the place, that I'm really surprised about that. Nobody notices people are ditching their masks. Everywhere you go, there's like piles of them all over the place. Piles of them, if that's what you're saying. You go to Meijer, they're all over outside the store, and that's just crazy. Come on, look. When you take it, if you're going to throw it out, put it in the garbage or whatever at least. Antonio, on my way to Hobart with a load of frozen pizzas. What do you know how bad the roads are on there? Well, a friend of mine lives in Hobart, and I'm from Hammond, Indiana. So otherwise, I don't know that much about Hobart, really. I know there's a big gummy bear factory in Maryville that you could go visit. The roads, I mean, it's southern, far south Chicago. So, bag of donuts. What's going on from Wisconsin? Christina, no roller wieners on Friday. No meat on Fridays. Oh, Ash Wednesday. Many other days, too. Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Wife does that as well. Luke, my friend who I'm on vacation with says roller wieners are gay. Well, tell them, oh, yeah? How about that? That's a pretty good comeback right there. I'll be listening, getting ready to drive. All right, Big Huge Mike. Had my trailer washed, so now I can't call it a dry van. Who washes out a dry van? I guess you could. Some of them have that. The ones they make here at Wabash are all metal inside, so I guess you could wash those. At Iowa 80, only about 20% wearing a mask, but all employees were. They don't, even though there's signs, companies don't want to enforce it. Companies like Iowa 80 and all that, where you go in because they'll make people mad. So it's not really being enforced. Paladin. Join Starfleet, they said. See the galaxy. They said, I get to exterminate pests on Nimbus. There are many, of which there are many. If you're not recruiting for a company, you're not bad-mouthing them either. That's true. I don't do either one. I don't say anything about them. I think Western wants me to get tickets at CSA points so I can't get a job somewhere else. They're not going to trap me. Well, the thing about that, though, is that costs them CSA points, too. And they'll get their load put out of service. They'll have to permit it at that point and pay and everything. I just don't get it. I don't understand a company that would do that. You must have somebody dispatch or whatever that just wants it moved that didn't check with them. I mean, even Western, I cannot see a legit company saying, oh, just run it. You're probably okay. I'm glad you didn't, too. And they ought to get you permits and pay you for the weekend, of which they likely won't do. What they're probably going to do is send somebody else to pick the load up and take it without permits, although now it's weekdays. Kenneth going to Houston, actually Berkshire. Oh, sounds fancy. Coming down 69 to 59 to 10. All right, so you're going to miss all that stuff. I'm not a lawyer, but I play one on TV. That would be the best, right? F-150, hello. Nomad Trucker, I'm heading to El Paso from DFW with a load of fresh air. Sweet. That's a pretty good run, too. From DFW, that's a half a day over there, whatever. Western Express is about a feeder. They're not the greatest, but I still say that, hauling oversized, when they do this all the time, they have to have a department that takes care of all this stuff. They have a permit department. So I'm very surprised about it. The roads in Hobart are black with white stripes. Yeah, the ones that don't have holes in them. Imperial, is the Escape out of the shop yet? Yes, I got the Escape Friday. 32 days in the shop. New engine. So we're all set now. The new engine's got about 10 miles on it now. So yeah, I picked it up on Friday. They called me up. And I was kind of disappointed they didn't wash the car, all right? That seemed petty. I don't know. They had the thing for over a month. I give it to them clean because it gets washed at least every Sunday, usually more than that, but at least on Sunday. And I gave it to them on a Monday. So I know it was clean. There's like fingerprints on the door, the outside of the door. It's clean inside, but it's fingerprints on the door. It's just aggravating. It's dusty. I got to clean it. I just don't like that. You do, a repair, which Ford paid $4,887 for. He showed me the receipt. He said retail, that would have been probably $7,200, all covered by warranty, right? But still, they should at least run it through the wash. And he knew I was coming because he called me. I didn't just show up. He goes, it's done. I go, I'll be right over there. So they should have washed it. So that's what should have happened. It didn't happen. A little disappointed in that. The stuff like that, the details like that are what makes a company just go from average to being exceptional, I think. Details. Hello from Richmond, driver 48. Start my vacation this Friday. Nice. Nice weather. Hope you're doing good in the upper 40s. I know it was chilly here. It's been chilly. Supposedly the 25th to 24th is the No Mas Day nationwide. What's No Mas Day? Todd Heifeld. What does that mean? No Mas. Just no more? We won't take it anymore? The Lone Ranger's having a hard time during COVID. Everyone is muscling on his catchphrase. Oh, very good. Driver pays the fine, Trucker Hershey. The driver would be fined and have to pay, but the company would also get fined, is what I'm saying. They're putting themselves in a bad situation where they're going to get points and a fine and possibly a truck that's put out of service at a scale or wherever. And, that's a real problem. They're going to make them, pay all this stuff. The driver would pay a fine, but the company gets fined too. George Wilson, does anyone remember Munster Steel at 41 and Ridge in Munster? Oh, no. 41 and Ridge. No, I don't. Right down the street was Sousers. If you continue down 41, if you remember that, at 41 and 30. But no, Munster Steel. Luke, I want to buy a Tacoma. Debating between TRD or TRD Off-Road. Last year, were they made in the United States? How about that? Next year, the manufacturing of those, I was reading about that, goes to Mexico. Sounds pretty awesome. Cash is king. When I think of Western Express Permits Department, I imagine a monkey to desk with a big rubber stamp. Well, that's true, too. I mean, who are they hiring in the Permits Department? Just stamp, approved. I mean, come on. Or the three monkeys with the eyes, ears, mouth, right, sitting there. Christopher Robin Trucking, what's going on, Mark? Happy Rolling Wiener Monday. What's going on? A foot long from Sonic, all the fixings on it. That's nice. The only way to eat at Sonic, they do commercials where you're all enclosed in your car and say, you can order everything on the menu. That's actually in the commercial. I'm like, who orders everything on the menu at a Sonic? Why aren't there any more posters about CSA 2010? Yeah, well, they're gone. The Dow is down 800 points today. Everybody's down in their stocks, too, lately. So that isn't great either, Christina. Sword and Shield. Mark, loving the comedic skills in your company. Review vids. Watching some just for that. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you very much. When I drove for Broderick Teaming in Chicago, we hauled it up Munster Steel. Really? Broderick Teaming. Now that sounds like a place, really, where you're going something. Oh, no mask day? Is that what that means? Where no one wears a mask? Cash King Trucking. I watched a video about Ford's debt. It said if they had as much cash as they do debt, they would give every one of their employees $921,000. So I'm guessing they can't afford a car wash. The thing is, they have a car wash. The dealer has a drive-through wash. Because when you get an oil change there or whatever, you can say, hey, would you wash my car too? And they'll do that. So I'm not even asking them to take it to a car wash. They have a car wash, and they did a huge repair which took them over a month to a car. Can they clean the car, for crying out loud? Jeez. TJ Jones, good morning, Mark, and all in the feed. Hey, what's happening? Is that petty? I don't know. The car, I gave it to him clean. I expect it back clean. That's what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to get a car and then go wash it. The loaner I gave him back was clean. Western permit guy here. Yes. I believe you were right. I think it was just my dispatcher. Oh, sorry. I was legal in Alabama. Oh, in some states, but needed a permit. That's their job to know that kind of stuff. I mean, holy mackerel. Sorry, was our job. The thing is, the time you waited, they ought to pay you for that. Tell them, look, why don't you pay me for this time? You guys didn't have permits, and it's not like you can go get the permits as a company driver. So, Dow crash and burn. Yeah, it was up for a while, now down. No mask day for me every day, Christina. Exactly. I mean, where is it that you need to wear a mask anymore? Nobody enforces it. Got my massive payout on PAM lawsuit. All right, 219.12. Stephen, gotta love attorneys. Well, people agree to this kind of deal. Do you think that covers all the time that you were at PAM and did not get paid? Campbell's soup is way down on stock. Dang it. It seems like that would go up now. It's getting colder out because soup is good food. If they build them in Mexico, do they just steal all the stuff that they want before they ship them? Yeah. They've been building them, it said, in San Antonio, I guess. And so they're going to move production to Mexico because they're going to make the bigger trucks there. So the small truck moving to Mexico production. And so it should be just as high quality as the Cascadias are made there. Built to last, long-term use, no problems, I'm sure. Roller Taco Monday. I know, wouldn't that be great? Those are the best. Well, Bill, your big boss orders food at a restaurant from the menu. I'll have the left side of the menu. I'll take the left, please. Tell him to go to Sonic. He can order the whole menu. I saw that on a commercial. If you could have a dream project truck 1989 and before to rebuild, which would you choose? 1989 and before. Wow. What was out then? I mean, I had just started driving, and so yikes. Probably something older like that. I really like the Aero Maxes, so I thought they were pretty neat looking. I might do an Aero Max then, and I like the 3 o'clock and all as well. Ford did this with their gauges. Every gauge was supposed to point at 3 p.m. if it was normal, other than like the speedometer, which moves around. So all gauges, you could scan the gauges, I remember that quickly, and see 3 p.m. and all's well. So let's redo an Aero Max. What happened to the DOT sending masks in the mail? I never got one. No, I think they were sending them to companies to distribute, is the way I understood it. They never sent me a mask or anything. And as far as I know, we never got any masks. I got a mask in June, a single-use mask from the company in June. And that's the last one I got. So there we go. Can we get a cool nickname for viewers of the channel? Yeah, I don't know what that might be. Has anyone got a check yet from the Prime settlement? I don't know if those checks have gone out yet. Missouri now has no helmet law. Well, we need no log laws. Well, if you're hauling an exempt load, there's no log laws at the moment. And that's going to be certainly the longest time in history that they've done that. The DOT said that when there was a mask shortage. Oh, yeah, that's true, right. Now you can just buy masks anywhere. Everybody's got them. Does a heat lamp corn dog count? Oh, where are you getting a heat lamp corn dog? From the fair? The hospitals and doctor's office doing for it. Well, hospitals, right, I'll give you that. As well as Domino's. Do you realize that Domino's has refused my service 3 times in Corydon, Indiana? Why? I thought they bring it out to your car. They have a commercial for that. Here. You can go to Domino's and get it. They show the guy putting it in the back of somebody's car, or at your house, they sit it by the door. Because Papa John's does that. It's hilarious. They'll come to the door. I see him. I have a Ring camera, right? So I see him coming there. He puts the food down, and then they hit the bell. And the guy, when you open the door, he's like 100 feet away, standing there going, hey, and once you take your food, then he leaves the place. So I don't know why you can't get food unless you're actually going in the building. But they show Domino's putting this stuff in people's cars on TV. Is it usual for local drivers to do 13 hours every day, 5 days a week? What's a local driver's schedule? It depends. It depends, right? I don't do that many hours. I do 8.5 to 9 hours a day is my schedule. We have shorter runs than that. Okay, we have a 6-hour run, which is the shortest run that we have, I think. That's it. That's all that driver does all day. 6 hours, one stop. But we also have 14-hour runs every day, 5 days a week. So it just depends. Now, last week I worked more. We worked on Saturday, but that's not every week. So yeah, it depends on the company you are and what you're doing. So, and how much you want to make. Like the 14-hour runs here, guess what? They pay more. Okay. I don't want to work 14 hours a day, though. I'm not interested in working 70 hours because what happens is you just do that and then you go home and then you go to bed and you get up and go back to work. So I think that kind of defeats the purpose of being a local driver other than you're sleeping at home instead of sleeping in the truck. So for me, local is going to be shorter hours. But yeah, a lot of companies run you to death, really. I'm all for roller brats. Oh yeah, exactly. You need bigger buns for that. Mr. Wiener's here. It doesn't matter what Toyotas are assembled. They're still higher quality than the big three, and they keep their value. Well, they relatively keep their value, yes. I'm just a little concerned. Will you not be concerned with it being assembled in another country like Mexico, which, people there are paid $4 or $5 an hour and no benefits, Not before 4 p.m. with Domino's. Well, I don't know. Look, all I know is the commercial. We don't order from Domino's. They show the guy in the commercial opening the back of the car and putting the pizza in the back of somebody's car. So you wouldn't need a mask, I would think. Tell him, look, what's the dealio here? Tell him to bring you put a Domino's mask with the pizza and give it to you. California truck stops require face masks. Well, you need it for the smoke, right? Kenneth B., it's the government. You won't receive the mask until the virus is done. Then we'll receive them. I'll probably be done here in a few months. That's what I'm anticipating. I wore my mask while video gaming. The whole town of Valentine started to shoot at me. Valentine. Oh, I know I'm missing some kind of reference there. Remember, aviator truck, remember putting food in foil and leaving it in exhaust? Open many baked bean cans that way. I will say I had a short stint as a Boy Scout, and our Scoutmaster used to do that on his Dodge Aspen Roadrunner. We would cook on the way to a campout or whatever, but I never actually did that myself. He'd put food scattered around the engine, and, he had different spots. Oh, you have to put this here, and this is hotter over here. I mean, he had like the whole thing mapped out. So we would do that, but I never did that myself. I always hear people talking about it, though. I've only seen 2 Joe Biden signs, and there were 2 flags in Oregon, one for the entire country, and it was hard to find. Yeah, I don't know if that relates to how many people are for him. I'm not sure. I will say Trump is big on getting that stuff out, and there wouldn't have been Biden signs from before, really, like would be Trump ones over the years, so I don't know what that might or not relate to anything. I noticed you didn't go car shopping on the Sunday. I was working. I had to work Saturday night. We worked a 6-day this week. They're like, come in and work. So I worked a 6-day. Normally I'm out early Sunday, so I don't like to go out that late. And I ran late Saturday. It was a disaster. So I've been in 12 states lately and 1 Biden sign. That's great. 1. Was it? I see once in a while you'll see a yard sign or whatever. You can go on and get one, I assume. They already have Toyotas being assembled already. Yeah, they do make, I think Corollas are made there. Also, they make those around the world. Look, I'm just concerned that, a car made outside the United States may not be as good a quality as one made in the United States. And I don't like jobs being moved out of the country. I'd rather have the jobs being made here in the United States. As a local driver, I average 63 hours a week on 5 days with overtime after 40. That's what I'm saying. So you work a lot. I think that's a lot of hours. I mean, you're over 12 hours a day. I find that to be a long day. For me, this is a short enough day as it is. Doing overtime, yeah, once in a while I'll come in on a Saturday or whatever, but the 60, 70 hours, that's a long day. We have people running these 14-hour routes that drive in from 45 minutes away. Logan Sport, they'll come in 50 minutes away. That's a long time. You're almost 2-hour commute plus a 14-hour route if you're lucky. I mean, 16 hours, you're getting 8 hours off. I don't find that to be great. You go home go to sleep, get up, and come back to work. And in the winter, it's even longer. I don't think that's great for a local. You might as well be gone. You'd probably work less. Ordered a coffee to drive through Starbucks, wherever that is, in Ukiah, California. The last thing the employee said was, "Don't forget your mask." It's in my car. I refuse to wear a mask in my car. Oh, you're in your car? Yeah. I see this every once in a while. You'll see people driving around. I haven't seen truck drivers doing it yet, but I'll see people in their car with a mask on, just driving by themselves. I'm like, do you do this at home too? Do people wear this sitting in their house? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Without imports, the dock workers would lose their jobs. That is true, but I'd rather have the jobs here. Because, that's why I buy cars that are made here most of the time. If I can do that. Like, this car hasn't had any problems other than a complete engine replacement. I mean, that's all it needed. Can it be? So, either way, done. I once worked for a company that pays time and a half after 40. I was mad because at the time I was only 38. I once worked for a company that pays, they should pay time and a half after 40, right? At the time I was, because you were only 38. Wow. Mark Gracie 2020. Oh, she's not old enough she's only 8, so she can't accept the office at being just 8 years old. It's hard to work 12-hour shifts when you're in extreme upper 30s. So I will say this, that's another thing. That's a long day. The older you get, the long days are really long. And then if you had a longer commute, that's something. There was just a guy who died. He was, I don't know how old he was, 73? I'm going to say 72, 73. This guy was working these 14 hours midnight. He'd come in at like 10 p.m. And then he'd be back at noon the next day. I'm like, holy mackerel, how do you do that? Well, turns out he dropped dead. So not at work, but that couldn't have helped. I'd like to find the dual Peterbilt if I could, Driver 48. Yeah, somebody has it and restored it. I had a picture of it probably a year or two ago. So you can find that. Type that into your search and somebody's got it. Yep. Cab Gear Jammer. When the pandemic first broke out, my company implemented a policy. We're supposed to wear masks in the truck while driving. That lasted all of 0 seconds. Who would do that? I mean, why? What is the point of that? They're just being way overly cautious on that. Why, so you can't infect yourself? Christopher Robin, did you see the CDC revise what they're saying? They're saying it's airborne. Well, it would have, otherwise, how else would you get it from somebody else? It has to be airborne, right? I mean, just like the flu or anything else, it's going to be airborne. Yeah, so that's probably one of the few things they've said I do believe. It's a long day no matter what age you are, Christina. Yeah, agree. I mean, I always think if you have to work 70 hours or like on the road 80, 90 hours a week to make a living, I don't think you're being paid enough money. I just don't find that to be enough money. You shouldn't have to put in that many hours to make a decent living at any job, really. Try to make more money in the hours that you do work. Oh, truck drivers wear them, the ones that wear towels in their hands. Do they wear masks? California truck stops, no mask, no service. Well, so then they're enforcing it. Stores here, Meyer has a policy about, 75% wear it. Stop saying 12-hour days of pains are coming back. Yeah, that'd be a short day for you. Sorted Shield, 12-hour days local, no life, only worth it in the oil fields pay. Well, then you're making money, right? Then you're making bank. Isn't that what the kids say? Yo, making bank. So then you're making decent money at it. But most people that work a 12-hour local day are not making $2,000, $2,500 a week. So then no. But otherwise, cut. If you're going to go local, that's what I think. Cut down your hours and have a life. That's the idea. You have a life outside of work. You go to you go to a job, and then you can come home and do other stuff with your free time. If you're working 14 hours a day and commuting 50 minutes each way, there's no free time. Logan Sport. Gustavo, hello. A lot still have that mentality, work until you drop dead. Right. What good did that do you? I mean, you either die a legend or you die a nobody. Let's just be honest about it. So if you work all those years, literally until you die, they're like, where is he? He didn't come in today. Turns out you're dead at your house, having your eyeballs eaten out by your cat because you've been dead for 3 days. What's the point of that? I just don't see the point of it. There's a purpose. You're here for a purpose, right? Do that. Do that. CDC is trying to scare everyone. Positive are way up. People sick almost zero. I know. I noticed that too in Indiana. 1,100 cases yesterday. From what? I'm like, from what? Age is just a number, like the long 6-digit number on a useless express truck. That's true, it is, but it's just harder and harder to do those long days. And really, you don't, maybe because I don't want to. I'm just not a fan of working 70, 80 hours. I saw one Biden sticker on the road in Washington State, but that county is also known for Bigfoot sightings. So, have you seen either one in Washington? That's the question. I don't think so. Donkey, let's keep the political talk to a minimum. We do try to reduce it some. But as we get to the election, I know that there'll be some political talk, certainly. At my age, the only thing I look forward to is getting hardened arteries. Nice, exactly. I've seen a grease man. I saw a truck driver wearing a mask, gloves, and goggles, plus hospital scrubs. I guess he was on his way to perform open heart surgery. Yeah, what are we doing? These are the same people. Does he oh my God, tell me he had that thing on and put his headset over them. Over that. I saw a person in Meyer that had the face mask, the plastic face mask on. They were wearing a mask, but then they had that plastic thing that came down over their face. I'm like, what is happening here? Are we doing welding? Does this get dark if the lights get brighter? Gracie is old enough at cat years, but that's where the conversation of human years. I see you guys are a lot, Kenneth. That would be great. Most of the time, yeah, and she wouldn't be controversial because her platform is eat and sleep. So, I was wondering where all the money in trucking was, then I watched Cash is King. Mark Fu, exactly. Look, he's doing very good. That's the thing of it. With the exemptions and, him knowing what he's doing, you can make good money as an owner-operator. And I always say it isn't for me, but you can make great money, okay, having your own truck. You can. You can, absolutely. Last year at Halloween, gas station had a sign, no one with a mask allowed. Now you can't get in unless you have a mask. Right. No one with a mask now must have a mask at the gas station. One of the Hollywood stuntmen bought it. Oh, they bought that truck? I know there's pictures of it like restored or whatever, and it was moving around the country. I've seen that truck in different pictures. Gustavo wears a ski mask. Look at me like I'm the crazy one. Yeah, I wonder if that'll work in the wintertime. Can you wear the full face? No, probably not because your mouth is out of it. Well, no, some of them it's covered. More riots been happening in Louisville. They were at Mitch McConnell's house. I saw that. As soon as RBG died, there were people out protesting at Mitch McConnell's house. So I'm like, oh, okay. How did they find out where he lived? Is he in the book? I would impress somebody like him is probably in the book. If there's still a book. That's a phone book for you young people. After you kick off, most companies will have your job posted before you're in the ground. Absolutely. Dave Johnson. Yeah, we had somebody die on the road in the truck. This was years ago. And it's not like they retired the truck. For all I know, they just flipped the mattress over on the truck. So, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, no one's irreplaceable, certainly. They'll just replace you. And that's what companies do. They're not there to, do anything else but replace you. The plastic shield is a bit overboard. Yeah, you think? When you're looking at cucumbers, do you need a shield? Are these things going to attack you? I don't know what's happening. Kenneth B., my dispatcher tells me that a lot when they try to get me extra work. They'll tell me, don't you like money? I tell them it's all about the balance. I go, no, I don't need your money. How about that? Tell them that. No. How about that? So there. Steel Horse, why isn't Love selling bioweapons grade respirators to replace their medieval helmets? Well, it turns out they've replaced some of their helmets and stuff with lightsabers. So apparently you can get that kind of stuff in there, which because of how it works, it would cut right through some of the metal cladding that they were selling. Yeah, so GP Transco is here. Hello, it's good to see you. The Loves in St. Louis is social distancing roller wieners. They're on every other rack. Do you think there's a thing to that? I didn't even notice that. Oh, are they putting... I went in the Loves the other day. I don't go in the building every day. And I thought, well, I'm going to get something in there. And they were all behind the sign that said they're still cooking. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? They're still cooking. Why are they still cooking? Why aren't there any that are done? I was so disappointed. Because I went all the way in there and then I'm like, oh, now what am I going to do? And then an announcement came out. It's cleaning time for the Loves crew. And everybody jumped into action. Kelly, dollars plastic chilled are used for surgery to protect against blood spatter. Dollars plastic chilled. Sword and Shield. Saw a guy in a grocery store wearing an old school full face WW2 gas mask. I assume for the humor factor. Yeah, I bet that would work better than the cloth mask that you buy on Amazon for $2. I saw medieval helmet at Jubit's. Oh, so are you telling me they did some kind of survey? They studied. They go, you know what? They get all in the big boardroom with the gigantic wooden table. Gentlemen, it's been told to us that Love's is selling medieval armor and helmets, and let's look into this. So then they have pie charts and graphs and stuff, show an arrow going way up like this, Love's medieval sales. They go, we can't have this. Johnson, look into getting this, that kind of thing. That's crazy. Where they get, did anybody look at these? We should look at them. Are they made in China too? Random question. What car did your parents have when they raised you as a child? Okay, so I was raised by wolves in the forest. No, okay, so Dad always liked Chryslers. We had a Fury wagon. We had a Dodge St. Regis. We had a Dodge Omni, a couple of Plymouth Horizons. So he was always like that. Stepfather was more Fords. He had Mercury Colony Park wagons, which he'd get a new one every year or two. So always a big wagon fan. We had a lot of wagons. Oh, and let's see, Dad also got a Voyager. Eventually went over to Voyager because you couldn't get a wagon anymore. So pretty much Plymouths there on one side and Fords on the other side. Yep. And I had a couple of wagons too in my life. I like them. Very roomy. Sadly, masks have become a fashion statement, so now people are competing at the best one. Really? The best? Who? Don't tell me they're going to be a competition, but what is the best one? My mask has a cat on it, which you can imagine that I wear. But when I have to put one on, what's the difference? What's on it? Joe, we need better rates. Wonder if these owner-operators are so protest. Why would you need better rates? The rates are great. Right now, I was just reading about it that the rates are up and expected to stay up all year. The rates have been higher than they've been in a long time. Who's not getting good rates? Only people hauling for Amazon are getting 80 cents a mile still, or on a lease where they've leased their truck from the carrier. Then they're locked into the rate. But people on percentage are doing very good right now. Christina, one day I was in Walmart and saw a man with a shield on over his face. Had to laugh and said, you know how silly you look? He goes, I know, but he's thinking, but he goes, I'm going to be the last man alive on earth. Dude was pulling cans. Grab a new raw wiener and stick it in the microwave. Aviator. Well, I mean, the goodness is that it absorbs the old juices of the old wieners on the rollers. I mean, that's what makes it great. Voice to text changed the first couple of words. Oh, all right. Yeah. How many of you drivers are old enough to remember when the Jubit's truck stop was a dirt parking lot? I think you are the only one. I don't remember it being dirt. Kenneth P. as an alert. 59 south of Texarkana, we have a teal GP Transco sighting. A GP Transco sighting in teal. That's amazing. I saw two of them this week. One was a white Volvo, which had a brush guard on the front of it. So, and I assume that was an owner-operator. And another one was a white Cascadia, which had one of the new trailers. So there you go. I didn't get any teal ones this week. Whatever did the DAT load board? You see them at truck stops. Oh, DAT's on the internet now. There's a new internet thing where you can go. That's true. There used to be, people don't remember this that haven't been driving too long. There was always in the back, there was the DAT load board on a screen, and you could just watch loads just flow by, and there was always a phone number for the broker you could call to get yourself a good load. Yep. George Costanza, 1971 Plymouth Fury, first love. I know. Great car. I loved them. We had Fury wagons. Mark, say something funny like on duty. I know. Look, that video, I got to say duty quite a few times, and I enjoyed it. Doing great with Landstar, Ronnie. Yeah, so rates are up, right? Because you get percentage, so the higher the rates go, the more money you make. Exactly. But you have your own truck because Landstar doesn't give you a truck. Suddenly I'm considering a medieval helmet with a chainmail mask. I know. Why don't we all get him if Jubit's is in on it? I said, duty again. In high school, I have a 69 Chrysler LeBaron. Got 9 miles to the gallon. Oh, nice. Nice. I had a 69 Chrysler New Yorker with a 440 in it, and it would do 9 or so also. Yep. Does this guy Trucks ever come on the live streams? He has come on one live stream and said hello. Yes. He's always welcome, as is everybody. Jubit's and Sonny and Will there in 1974. Who's Sonny and Will? Jeffrey Downs, AMC Pacers, your dad had, and for Mom, and Mercury Capri for himself. Oh, he gets the fancy car. When I was a kid, then he converted all to Mopar, and now I'm bow tie. You didn't stick with anything. Let's see. If you emailed us your address, you might see a TLGP Transco pull up in your driveway one of these days as proof. That would be great. I'd like to see one in person. I'd still think it was a hologram, or you painted it for me to see it. Did you see Waste Management got bought out? Marty, no. Did the mob sell that? Oh, I mean, did those business people sell that corporation? Kevin Squared has seen the load boards. Yeah, it was just a TV set in the break room, usually in the back, in the corner, and it was the DAT load board. And loads would just go by, flatbed here to here, how many miles, and a number. All day. There'd be guys sitting back there smoking all day, just looking at that load board. Have we had a blue parrot break? No, but we always need one. Oh, and then I moved this thing over. Great. So let's see. Where did it go? Right there. That. Because if you wear it, you should always make it a parrot. And GP Transco is here. And so there's some information. There's some of the TL trucks. Also, could be photoshopped. Not sure. And truck color not guaranteed at GP Transco. Remember that. So I don't pick the truck color. Don't tell them Mark said I'll get this color, which has happened. Mark didn't say any such thing. So there. Let's see. Where did I go off to? Sending Will from the TV show Moving On. Oh, all right. Fleet Nav Systems is here. Happy Monday. Oh, right when I messed up on the thing here. And I just did this right. How about that? Live shows eventually returning. They are all Geotab all the time at Fleet Nav Systems. Thank you for being here today. Sending, my parents had a Plymouth Fury 3 teal with a 389 trip lock. That's nice too. That would have been very, very nice. Nevada has been the worst about masks. I give them the Jedi hand wave by saying medical condition. Does it work? Medical condition. But does that work is my question, I mean, I guess anybody could say that. You don't remember Will and Sonny from Moving On. Merle Haggard sang the theme song. I didn't watch that show that much. But isn't that guy from the Alpo commercial, right? Am I thinking that? There's this guy Trucks is here today. Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you. Any recommendations on a good driver's seat? Well, I only get the seat, whatever comes in the truck. So I don't get to choose it. I always thought companies ought to put a better seat in the trucks. They ought to get the best seat possible. JJ Hammer down. The wagons love sitting in the back facing the car behind it. Yes, they had a reverse seat. Now, the Mercuries had seats that faced each other. So 2 seats faced each other. But the Plymouths usually had a seat that faced backwards, and you could look at all the people in the car behind you. Right. And now you'd feel kind of foolish doing that, I guess. Can you imagine the EPA trying to tell the mob what to do? Yeah, can you imagine that? This guy Trucks, we were just talking about. Yeah, right. And then there he is. Exactly. Claude Akins. Right. That's the guy, right? Frank Converse. The guy, he invented tennis shoes. Friday TV show. Now available on Amazon Prime. I'm not an Amazon Prime member. Oh, yikes. This guy Truck has arrived. Moving On is on YouTube. Oh, all right. I should check out that YouTube thing. All these rules have a lot of exemptions. Read Indiana's order. Yes. Yeah, I know they exempt everybody. Some of them have a religious exemption. Some of them have a medical exemption. And you don't have to prove anything. So really, you really don't have to wear the mask, really, because what? Are you going to show medical records to everybody? And then companies are fighting with... There are people fighting. Okay, there's really not worth fighting over. I mean, gee whiz. It's not worth getting into a fight. I'm sure you've all seen that kind of thing on there. It's not worth fighting. When I go to Meijer, I just put a mask on and go get my things. I think that's simpler. And yeah, you're just complying. But you know what? You just want to get my few things out of there. I had a Fury once, got it at DQ. Nice, very nice. My dream car is a 55 DeSoto Fire Dome. Wow, they're around. I don't get into the cars. Not that I don't like them. I like seeing them at car shows. That's a little too old to be like a daily driver. But I could see driving, 70s kind of car. What's going on with the Broncos? All right, those are horses. I don't know. I'm not a sports person. Shout out to the trucking answer's wife. Yes, she's headed out for a moment here today. Claude Akins, right? That's the guy from the Alpo commercial. That's where I remember him from because the Okay, the horse-drawn carriage goes into the door and the dog follows it. Everybody remembers this, I'm sure. My senior year in high school, I bought a 72 Satellite. It had a 318 two-barrel. Could spin the tires in the dirt. Yeah, even at 72, that would have been better. I mean, I had a 78 Cordoba with the rich Corinthian leather and had a 318 two-barrel lean burn. So it was computer-controlled lean burn. Oh, 135 horsepower. Terrible. Terrible. Car rode great, gigantic, super slow. Liked it. Paul Harris, your dad always got the full-size wagons from Chrysler and Plymouth. When they downsized, they went to the Ford Mercury. So they back to like a Colony Park, that kind of thing. How's the driver appreciation flashlight doing? Still good. I left it in the truck, so that way I don't forget to take it. And, I'll be using that thing probably numerous times, probably at least 3 to 5 times this year. Actually, I'll probably use it to help me find trailers, so I actually might get some use out of it. Wilhelm Gladhand Transportation Company is what Transco stands for. Really? Oh, okay. Gladhand Transportation Company. Gladhand Transportation is what Transco stands for. Okay. Used to car sick. Some people do get sick sitting backwards. Yes. Why they make it so hard for drivers, but let shippers get away with so much? Not enough room to maneuver. No restrooms. I agree with that. Truckers backing in off the street when they have open land around them. I agree. I mean, places that are not safe. If drivers didn't go in there to get freight, they wouldn't be able to do that to you. The bathrooms, I agree. They should have to provide a bathroom for you if they're going to make you come in there. I agree. I totally agree. Transportation company. Okay, I see. William Glenn. Got it. Right. Backing in off the street, there's a lot of that because when some of these places were made, especially the farther east you go, east side, they get smaller and smaller. So yeah, been there, done that. We all have. Kenneth Pete, truck color's not guaranteed, but definitely a negotiating point, I guess. I guess. It wouldn't matter to me what color it was as long as they pay me on Friday. So, would prefer it, I guess, but yeah. I wouldn't certainly say I'm not coming if I don't get a certain color truck. So PTL, was it? Some company, I remember in the 90s, used to do that in their ads. They had like 10 color choices you could choose from. And they said if they didn't have that color, they'd put you in a truck and get that color for you. So, and I thought, do people care? But I guess people cared or they wouldn't do it. Paladin, they all have a medical exemption. I wonder, through Walmart, you wander through there all the time with no mask. They could get in trouble with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Everyone has an out. Yeah, everybody will say, look, me and my, support parrot have a medical condition. Or, my support goat that I have to bring around with me. Exactly. I had one of those ticked and wrapped and knocked but couldn't kill it. I wonder what that, right. Because at the end of the day, a trucking company for truckers provides the service and the customer is paying for it. So unfortunately this happens. Right. They say, look, come in here and get our stuff. It would be great if companies, large and small, when they find this out, would put it in with the thing that they give to the driver to help them. I always find it amazing that you go to a place and this kind of information isn't in there. So a driver should be able to fill a form out on a Qualcomm or put in a piece of paper that says you have to back in off the street, this place is tight or whatever. And that would just give drivers a heads up, but not too many more do that. I heard no more stimulus money. Christina, yeah, so far, nothing. I'm surprised. That's probably the biggest surprise I had, that they didn't give out another check. Remember the commercial for the Cordoba with Ricardo Montalban? Yes, and he was right. Those are nice seats in that car. White leather I had in this one. When I got my roller wiener served to me at the 7-Eleven, the girl's very professional and served me. That's good. We don't have a 7-Eleven yet, but that's good. You want someone to gently hand you, handle your wieners for sure. In school, I had a 71 Pinto. Nice. First one of the Mahwah and New Jersey plant. I got 307,000 miles on the 1.6, which had a timing chain. Yikes. Kept a big flammable stick placard on the trunk. I had the competition to that. I had a Chevy Vega. So, Vega GT, as a matter of fact. You should get Gracie as a support am, and I'll take her with you to work. George, yikes. She doesn't like going outside. So you have to put her, of course, in a carrier. So I don't think she would enjoy very much being in the truck. Living in Arizona, you learn that white trucks are the best, keeps the heat out. That's true. I don't think the color would make any difference to me. I don't think that's maybe it is to some people, but I certainly wouldn't care about that. I mean, if they said pick whichever one you want, then it's one thing, but I don't, otherwise, no. Most companies have white trucks. We have white trucks, mostly. I should have invested into porta potty business when this COVID-19 started. Yeah, because you could deliver them to these places and say, look, we clean them or whatever. We try to be selective when it comes to customers regarding how they treat drivers, but sadly we can't control that side. Yeah, even just a heads up from a place would be great. We've been to there's places we go to, I'm like, why don't you, I'm hearing a guy ask for directions and they don't have, we don't have any. I'm like, we've been going to this place for years. Why are there no directions in here to this place? It's just ridiculous. Then when a driver would know which way to go down the road, come in from this side, back in off the street, all that would make a driver's life easier. It would make the company have less accidents too, it would seem like, because a driver wouldn't be messing around there. Had to change docks, Trucker Hershey. Oh, extra stop pay, love it. I wonder the percentage of white cars in southern states. White, Steel Horse, they still say white is the most popular car color. And I don't know how much of that is fleet purchases, but and I won't get one because I see too many fleets with them, but yeah, I agree. But people now, you can get air conditioning in cars now, it turns out. So you can get any color you want and just remote start it, and when you get out to the car, it's cool. So that's what I do here. Is it good to become an owner-operator? Does it make more money than being a company driver, Edgar? I don't know. See, you're talking to the wrong person. I'm not an owner-operator kind of person. I like the company side of it where I don't have any risk involved in it. You should also go over to Ask Cassius King Trucking that, and he's the other side of it where he makes a lot more money than me, like tons more money than most people do. And because he's taking a risk. I don't want that risk. I want the insurance. I want to have vacation time, and I don't want to work all those hours. So it just depends what you want out of what you're doing. If you want to put in the time, learn the industry, to be an owner-operator, yeah, you can make a lot of money, yep. But you have the downside risk of you can lose everything. I can't. I guess theoretically I could just get fired, but I still wouldn't owe any money on the truck or whatever. Even if they went bankrupt tomorrow, I still just go get another job. 7-Eleven changed their name to 8 to 12 after the last time change. Oh, that's coming up here next month as well, by the way. And are they still open all night? I guess the Speedway here is, so. Oh, Tommy Cash had a 72 Matador. That would be pretty nice. You don't see any of those anymore. When the COVID was at its height, we made sure each customer followed proper safety policy. Yeah, but they probably, GP Transco, let's be honest, they probably only said they follow proper safety policy. I mean, there's no way to know it. Really, other than maybe the driver gets there and tells you. A lot of places say they follow it and don't do anything. Pinto cousin was the Bobcat. Yeah, you didn't see many of those, right? Because I had a Granada, but the cousin was the Monarch, and then also the Lincoln version, Versailles. As you remember, Mark, love me and love the show. I love it. Thank you, but gotta go. Always watch the second half. See you Sunday. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Kevin Squared, for being here. I appreciate it. Kangaroo Trucker home time. Only time I like driving to Atlanta. Move out of town. Yuck. Mark is at home doing homework with the kids. Wife is saying not sending kids back to school. All right, fair enough. Look, homeschool your kids will be better off anyways. Probably learn more than all the garbage they learn at school anyways. Look at me. I went to public school. I don't know anything. I can't even convert 46 degrees Fahrenheit into metric system. Trucker Hershey likes the teal truck. I'm saying if they gave me a color choice, I'd take it. But I wouldn't negotiate and say, well, teal or nothing. Guess I'm going to be the one to ask, who do you forget? That is true. And each hour that comes up, generally, for new people, though, that have just started watching this moment, I don't know why, but 12:30 p.m., I start the show every week on Monday. I don't ever say who I work for. Keep some out of your videos, too. They don't get to say, oh, we like that company or whatever. And I don't recruit for them. A lot of people do recruit, and if they like their company, I guess it's okay. I don't do it. They have recruiters. Let them recruit for their own place. That's what I think about that. Pinto was the Bobcat as Maverick was to the Comet. I'm getting a new puppy on Saturday. Mini Australian Shepherd from Brewster outside Atlanta. We'll send pictures. George Costanza. Oh, that sounds great. I mean, shippers won't even put up where the shipping and receiving office. Okay, so that is true. Why do you pull up to a place and it doesn't say anything? It's just a building. Why isn't there, say, drivers here, enter here, or shipping? Why do I have to go try? Everybody's done this, right? You pull in there, and you're like, all right, I'll just try this first door. Locked. You go down 12 doors. Oh, now you're done at dock 812. Okay, that's where I go in? Oh, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, we're right here. Oh, how would I know that? Idiots. Some of them don't have the driveways marked. Why are the driveways not marked? No trucks. Trucks go to the next entrance. Can we do that? Had an AMC Pacer with licorice dispenser. Oh, that's something. Kenneth P. Prime has more truck colors than a big box of Crayola has crayons. That's true, but I guess in the fact that the people are paying for it, theoretically, right, they should at least get their truck color, choice, certainly. And you do get that benefit. If you buy the truck, you can pick out whatever truck you want. As a Chicago native, I've delivered and picked up at places and defied the odds by getting out without being shot or mugged. Hey, did you see you might not get your mail anymore in Chicago? The mail carriers at the post office said, look, a couple of us have been shot. It's getting unsafe. We're not going to deliver the mail anymore unless it gets safer in Chicago. So you may have to go to the post office to get your own mail living in that area. What's the weirdest experience related to the channel since you started this? I don't know. Which related to the channel? I don't know. I get a lot of requests for stuff from people that don't watch the channel. So, dear YouTuber, hey, please promote our wonderful product about video gaming or something like that. We love your channel. Watch it always. It's very informative. These are just like form letters. You get those kind of things a lot. My backing challenge that made me a made man. Oh, nice, a made man. Was the alley behind Pioneer Bank at Route 64 in Pulaski for a Payless shoes. Don't you love it to get it back down these alleys, especially in the Chicago area? I had this a lot, where the ladders, the fire escapes and stuff are hanging down. You got to be very careful. People forget backing in. You also got to look up and see what's around, wires and everything like that. My place is doing a drawing for $50 a week for the next 2 months. For each driver that provides updated info for places we stop, you get a chance for each place. That's good. They ought to do that anyway. I mean, they ought to want you to provide that information, but here's a good way to get you to do it. Absolutely. Oh, fill that out and let them use it and put all the information down. Go to door 9, that kind of thing. Still Horse gets directions attached to our bills relating to regular customers. Directions, hazards, where to check in, if we could sleep there or the close place. Oh, that's good too, sleeping. So because they want you to get in and out of there safely and be able to do your job. Perfect. Why can't places do that? Once they start going to a place all the time, there's no reason that they can't do that. That's great. A 71 GTO. Oh, right. Never had anything. Never got into the sports cars. I was a large sedan person. Detrius Betts. Chicago's a safe city. I love driving there. Yeah. I lived at 1800 North Whipple and moved out of there many years ago. Does Cash is King take Padawans? Going to become an owner-operator in 5 years. George Costanza, when you have enough in savings to buy a new truck outright. Wow. Think of just signing on with a Mega. Tons of freight, and if you own the truck, it's good pay. Wow. Why wouldn't you just go into... if you're going to buy your own truck for cash, why not go into a place that gives you a percentage for that, for an owner-operator? It seems like a flat rate, which I see a lot of these carriers, just not usually that high. $1.25, $1.10. I don't know. And I don't know if I'd put, $200,000 into a business. It's teal or it's no deal. Oh, that's good. That's a good line. It's teal or it's no deal. Oh, thanks, Wild Bill. I appreciate that. Whenever company drivers ask you, what's the one thing you suggest before becoming an owner-operator? We all say, have $20,000 in the bank for maintenance. Have some money in the bank for maintenance. I totally agree. If you're going to be an owner-operator, take some business classes. Yeah, know what you're doing. More fail because they can't run a business than they can't drive a truck. It isn't right. You're not a truck driver then anymore as an employee. You're running a business. Get a truck that's efficient. That's what I would tell people. Get a truck that's efficient. The less you spend moving it down the road, the more it goes in your pocket. They don't give you any extra money, as far as I understand, from the load boards if you have a long nose truck with a bunch of lights on it. That you drive that when you're a company driver and don't care about the fuel. Then get whatever truck you like that they'll give you. but I would get a super efficient truck if I was going to buy a truck, certainly. The most efficient truck I could get. Funny, I never thought truck color had anything to do with the temperature. I always thought it was about working air conditioning. If it sits, even your car, which even the Escape, which is gray, dark gray, it's called magnetic, which doesn't mean anything. You come out, ironically, it is magnetic. If you put a magnet on it. It's hot in the summer. It's hot. But you can just turn the air on and it gets cool in there. That's the thing of it. Open the windows, turn the air on for a minute. Bingo, it's cool. I agree. It's just hotter than it would be if it was a lighter color. Remember do I remember the Buick Deuce and a Quarter? I think it had a 430. Yeah, 225s, of course. I had a Buick Electra Estate wagon in 1978, which would have been the 225 of its time in wagon form. Don't pay cash for a new truck. You won't be able to deduct it on your taxes. The only benefit you would have by doing that is you wouldn't have to work as much. Well, that is a benefit. And why couldn't you deduct it? Can't you depreciate it over time at least? Don't you get some kind of one-time deduction of a certain amount and you can depreciate the asset over time, I think? Not a tax expert on that. Okie Trucker on Home Time just woke up so you could watch the show. It's 12:37 p.m. Good to be here. Have you. Thank you. To convert Celsius to Fahrenheit, multiply by 1.8. Kelly. 1.8 in my head? I guess it would. I'd be like, the wheels are turning. If this channel had female groupies, what would they be called? Mine would be Answer Lizards. Well, I don't think I'll have to worry about considering a name for that. Female groupies. That isn't going to happen. You can't get around that gear jammer. You can deduct the truck if you pay cash. Who told you that? I thought you can deduct at least a certain amount and then maybe depreciate it over time. I don't know. It's a business expense, right? You can check out the second episode of The Story Drivers. It shows a very professional owner-operator. Oh, he says a lot of great things. All right. Yeah, that'd be good. Those kind of things, super helpful. What is the first thing a driver should do before becoming an owner-operator? Probably seek counseling. Well, look, it's for some people, it's the way to go. Like even probably me, right? I'm all basically psychologically unemployable. So the only good thing here, I never see anybody. Going in late, everything's closed. I just do my job and leave, and they leave me alone as long as everything goes fine. So, but, working in an office or whatever wouldn't be for me. And maybe if you want to run your own business, go buy a truck. What if I already own a truck but don't know enough to capitalize on it? Driving a company truck now. Well, you can always learn. There's no reason you can't learn anything you want from the internet, basically. Or there's people that would be happy to teach you. There's classes you could take over the internet, all that kind of stuff. Columbia, Georgia's got a dispatch after sitting in the yard for 4.5 hours waiting for a load. That's awesome. I see that you were being paid for that too. Where does it go? Was it worth waiting for? Every new truck I bought, I financed for 4 years. When I traded it in or sold it outright, I had equity in it. I grew up in a trucking family. My dad had 30 trucks at all times. That's a big operation. I mean, 30 trucks, it's millions of dollars of revenue. That's good. Comfortable man, hello. Just got home after my day of work. Good, it's good to see you. That's an early time off, depending on what time you started. What time you started the day, anyways. Fuzzy Nugget is still at work, as it turns out. That's the only time that they work, though, really, right? Sitting in the window. Fuzzy Nugget. I think that's that cat's name. I don't know. Where did I look at that? Yeah, right. Okay, I'm gone there. Where am I going? I'm all over the place. What company pays the most and has the most benefits for an experienced driver? It depends. Depends what you want to do, right? If you're mileage, if you're hourly, every company pays different. And benefits, it depends what benefits you need, right? Where I get a lot of benefits, some people don't need benefits. There was just a job offered here in Frankfurt. $15.40 a week, home every day, no benefits. Is that good? It depends. Depends what kind of benefits you need. I saw that advertised. There's a temp service, which I was just talking to someone about on email, in Indianapolis, running $27 an hour plus overtime, add home every day, 60 hours a week. That's $98,000 a year with benefits. Not bad. There are a few deductions with a new truck, but not like if you financed it. Well, but are the deductions better than the financing? I mean, because you have to pay interest on the financing. There's the Dave Ramsey kind of thing, right? You're getting part of the deduction in the taxes, but got to pay the bank more. Kenneth P., but if you're a company driver at Prime, you don't get a choice. My first truck at Prime, fuchsia. I told you it was cute. I told you you're a woman. You're supposed to think it's cute. Nice. Then did you tell her, hey, honey, go do the dishes and slap her on the bottom? Bottom. Hey, that's great. I think the Road Dog channel is missing on and not giving you a show on their radio station. Joe Salinas, well, write to them and tell them I'd love to do a show on there. Right after the what the heck is that show? Freightwave show that comes on the weekends. Yeah, I was listening to that guy. He has no idea what he's talking about, so I'd like to go on after that. Got to head out Fleet Nav in the next 10 minutes. If anybody has an ELD question, you can answer them. Let them know. All right, thank you. On the positive side, finding a fuchsia-colored truck in a truck stop is not hard. That's true, so you have that benefit. It's easy to find. You don't have to keep hitting the remote and blinking the lights. Aviator trucker, 48 degrees is 8 degrees Celsius. See, there we go. I had no idea because I was not homeschooled. Mark is also a CPA, but not a good one. Going to pick, thank you to Christina Jones for your support on the YouTube channel. Fleet Nav has a great YouTube channel. If you have a Geotab, they have every answer you need. Going to pick up a 78 T-top Trans Am tomorrow for $500 with a 455, right? 5-speed. Wow. 455 horsepower, 5-speed. 455 horsepower. That would not be stock in 1978, certainly. And I don't even know if they offered a stick that year. Maybe. Probably did. I like my metric weight. When I step on the scale, I'm only 81 kilograms. Nice. I give my moon weight. So of like 60 pounds. Perfect. Started at 8 a.m. A comfortable man did 3 jobs, then come home. Was a good, profitable day. That's the way to do it. All right. Few hours, we're back. George, I'm going to Tigard, Oregon. A big 30-mile day. Do they at least have a minimum on that then? Some companies I know run a minimum. I used to see that. They'll say, make at least so much or whatever. So I hope you at least get a minimum on that. Another rule of thumb we tell owner-operators, at least those who drive at GP Transco, is trust your dispatcher whether the market is up or down. That's hard to do, though, right? Would taking Valtrex keep me from getting my CDL? I don't know. Not a doctor. Anybody here on that? And I don't know about that. I don't know. Don't prescriptions pretty much go through? Not sure. Ask your doctor if the purple pill is right for you. I do say that. If you had to start over, would you choose another mode of transportation? Rail, water, or air? No, I still like to drive. I like to drive. And water, not as useful for transportation. I always thought it'd be fun to drive a train, but, I don't know. Just because of honk on the horn, I guess. Mercer or Landstar, both are great. Yeah, I like a Landstar too. And third, get a Cascadia. Exactly. Get something that's efficient, right? Because if you're not efficient, that's all your money going out of your pocket. What is your opinion on variant trucking? I don't know. It sounds variable. I mean, I never heard of it. Is this a big place? I heard of this thing in the interweb called Google. It will tell you a bunch of stuff. I've heard of that. Does GP Transco hire owner-operators? Yeah, they do hire owner-operators. I don't know about their age limit, but they do hire owner-operators there because those are some of the only trucks I ever see for them. All their company drivers are apparently out west somewhere where they can see their teal-colored trucks better. You know your speedometer's metric when you hear the odometer go click, click, click. Nice. Very good. Yeah, and just like the gas pump used to do. When you used to fill up from a visible pump. And you'd hear a ding every gallon that came out of it. What causes you the most stress? The most stress on the road. So what did drivers say? One of the things they said, which 1 in 5 drivers said loneliness. Loneliness is very stressful on the road. But what did they mostly say? Yeah. That causes drivers the most stress. $1 saved is worth more than $1 earned. Oh, very good. What about $1 spent? How much is that worth? It depends. In the law of abundance, spending equals earning. How about that? That's crazy to say that. Oh, the hours of service, the new hours of service rules are being challenged. By who? The Teamsters, Crash, Pat, and the Advocates for Highway Safety. They're being challenged in federal court. So that's their last chance. They go into effect next Tuesday. And that's their last chance to get them stopped. The federal court could put a hold on the new hours of service, which would put all the ELD operators in a panic mode, I'm sure. So we'll see where that goes, but they've got an emergency filing in federal court to put a hold on the hours of service. Crazy to think that. Mark Fu, we do work with owner-operators. They earn 80% of gross. No trailer fees, nice ELD fees, or they're nonsense. No nonsense. That should be the thing, the no-nonsense teal carrier. There's no age limit. Just need to pass our in-house inspection. Oh, really? I've never really seen any old trucks running for you, though. So some, like old Ford cab over is acceptable? To give it a metric to U.S., do what you do like everything else. Hey, Google. Yeah, you could do that too, right? Or I could just say, look, I'm in the United States. I'm not doing metrics. In the day, the fuel pump must have sounded like a slot machine. That's correct. You'd put the pump in behind the license plate and put 25 gallons in your Chrysler and drive it for 3 days. But it's a good thing you only needed $4. 455 was stock, but they were not 455 horsepower. 378 horsepower? Not in 1978. No way in 1978 was that a stock horsepower figure. 180 horsepower maybe. You have to spend money to make money. Saving money is free. That is correct. Very good. Aviator trucker, remember the air pump with the digits and you had to lift the hose off the hook? I would have dinged. That's true. That's when it used to be free. Okay, that's when the thing used to be free. I remember you used to turn a knob on the side of the pump. That's what you're talking about. To the pounds you wanted, then fill your car up, and then it would ding when you had that amount in it. That's correct. Now Nissans ding at you. If you fill it up with the car running, when it's the correct amount, the car honks its horn at you. Tigard is pronounced with a long L. Sorry. Sorry, I try. Hey, everybody. Have a great day. Fleet Nav Systems, thank you for being here. Christina, yeah, what's a Siri? I never heard of anything like that. Do people still use that? That's that old... Didn't that come out with laser discs? I'm not sure. Going down Dead Man's Path, smelling the beautiful aroma of burning brake pads. Hopefully you don't ever smell that. Did everybody see the Nikola thing? So Nikola's got this hydrogen-powered semi, and I thought this was just fascinating. And they did a video for some of their investors, and the investors are like, wait a minute. So they show this thing driving, but in fact, it wasn't driving. What they did is roll it down a hill and tilt the video so that it looked like it's driving down the road. The thing doesn't drive. And they asked the guy who's now out as the CEO. And he said, look, in the video, we never say the truck's driving under its own power. And I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard about. What are people going to think when you see it going down the road? So the thing was not driving under its own power. This hydrogen-powered truck, they don't have one that runs yet. Crazy to get investors like that. So they're all mad about it, and that was on the news. That was really something. Nikola. So mirrorless trucks are approved. So pretty soon you may get a truck that has a display on each of the A-pillars, right where you would look at the mirrors, but there's a display inside the truck and a small camera outside the truck. How about that? That's the way to do it. They said, look, this way, you don't need to defog the mirrors. You don't have to worry about snow buildup on them. It gets better fuel mileage. Absolutely. If the camera goes out, hey, don't worry about it. You got another mirror. So the FMCSA approved mirrorless trucks for 5 years, which they'll, if it goes well, they'll still continue to approve them. You'll be able to turn up the brightness and turn it down on the mirrors. They said, oh, they're color at night. Like, outside is still in color. I don't know if they know that. The world doesn't go black and white at night, so everything is still color. Christina Jones is the one girl in class that knows all the answers and always raises her hand. Somebody's got to be, right? I remember those long, weird-looking water cans to fill your radiator. That's correct. And your battery. You would also take that out to fill your battery. Unscrew all the 6 screws on top of your battery. Make sure that stayed filled up. Oh, yeah, right. What good did it do to mandate e-log for safety, then a year later extend a driver's stay? Well, this, like they said, this doesn't really extend anybody's stay. It doesn't add any driving time other than the adverse driving conditions, I guess, but you still had 2 hours. It won't extend your driving day. All it does really for drivers is change the 30-minute break to where it can be on duty. So you'll be fueling. You can be doing whatever you want. You don't have to go off duty for that break. It didn't add any hours to the day, though. So I don't know. if it made it unsafe, the way that crash and all these people are saying, oh, it makes our drivers exhausted. I don't know about that. It doesn't really extend the day. The same amount of hours are still available. Kenneth doesn't work at Prime anymore. And my psychologist tells me I'll eventually get over it at $155 an hour. It'll take a while. You can use some of that settlement money to pay for that. Jeffrey Downs, it was a big block special order, 375, ordered in 78, sold as a 77, sold as a 70. I have to look that up. That would be amazing power out of that. I had a 78 Oldsmobile 98, which had the 403 Olds engine in it, which was also available in a Trans Am. But it was only 185 horsepower. So, I mean, this would really be something out of the factory. Cardboard oil cans with a spout you stuck through the tin. Oh, yeah, I had tons of those. Those were still, I would change my oil with those things. You had this metal thing you jam in the can. It's called a fiber can, right? And you jammed it in there, and then the oil, you better use it because it leaked all over everything. Joe Salinas, I heard the owner of Fitzgerald Glider Kits went to prison. Anyone else hear about this? Really? Why? What did he do? Isn't that Siri a talking computer that does things on your phone? No. I tried it. My phone doesn't know anything about it. A 78 Trans Am didn't come with a 455. The older Trans Ams did. They had a Super Duty, I agree. 78 was the biggest one was a 403 Oldsmobile. Right. And it was maybe 220 in the Trans Am. It was like 185 in my Oldsmobile 98. I was in high school when they were brand new. Nice. Yeah, you got a Super Duty, until 75? I think you could get that 455 Super Duty, but it wasn't a lot of power. It had a lot of torque, but no power. Remember those snot sucker syringes to fill your battery cells? Yeah, I would fill it from that big thing, though, at the gas station that you'd fill your radiator, which was just water. And you just pour it over the battery and let the water go in it. Absolutely. 1939 Zephyr. Nice ride. Yeah, 39 Zephyr. I'd be hard to get parts for that anymore. I had a Fairmount, which was a Zephyr. So people were doing that earlier. Yeah, Paladin, exactly. Another thing that stresses people out are regulations and laws. That was still not the number one thing that drivers said that stressed them out while they were on the road. That was number 2. Regulations and laws is the number 2 thing. I thought that would be number 1. The number 1 thing I was pretty surprised to hear about, really. And there is a driver who is challenging the England settlement, basically saying, look, this settlement that England did with the court, no thank you. He's kind of objecting to the settlement. He says that England is getting away with basically paying only 1% of the amount that they owe the drivers, because there were over 12,000, I guess, drivers involved in this in just a few years, and they're basically getting away with it, and this driver's not happy about it. The 1978 Trans Am had a 403 with 190 horsepower. That sounds about right. It was like 185 in my Oldsmobile 98. It was the biggest engine available for it in 1978. All cars were reduced in power in 1972, right? Including your 72 Satellite. That's correct, right? And by the mid to late 70s, they were down to basically nothing. I mean, the 4-cylinder now, surprisingly, in my Escape is more power than a stock Trans Am in 1978 was. The Escape's power today is crazy. The oil cans were stored in a case at the pump with a little garage door to close it up when the station closed. Oh, sure, you don't want to have people stealing them. 455 high output. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't think it's in, closing in on 400 horsepower those years, certainly. Number 1 stressor looking for TLGP Transco trucks. Yeah, I saw GP Transco hauling a Premier trailer the other day too. So, are you running out of trailers over there? What is happening? You had to rent a trailer from Premier? Yikes. It was a owner-operator. This was also a Volvo. I see Volvos a lot for you. But they had a Premier trailer. I'm like, what the heck? They are out of trailers over there. I don't know. They could just rent trailers. Riding Shotgun likes his 2018 CTS-V. That's more like it, right? Factory 640 horsepower. Right, this is not your grandfather's Cadillac. Mark Fu, exactly. That's even better. Wild Bill, who is a Corvette fanatic, in 1977, the Corvette had a 350, but had 185 horsepower. Yeah, and a 3-speed automatic, which didn't help the program either on a lot of them. Companies need to be penalized for underpaying their drivers, 150% to pay for the lures. Yeah, that's how the settlements go. The lawyers make the most money, and then the drivers get, a check for, like we saw earlier, $200 for all this time that they're out. And this driver on this England settlement is saying, no way. They said there wasn't even any looking into the evidence. That's what he's saying, is that basically just sailed through, and England is getting a free ride on all the money that they owe people. That's what he's saying. Now, I don't know if he's going to object and sue him himself. I'd like to see that happen. I still want a decision on one of these cases from the court where it isn't settled. There's actually a court decision. The guy I'm getting it from blew the original engines in the car, so he swapped a 455 in. Oh, that's a different story. Yeah, you could put in whatever you want then. The original probably 403. In 79, the Trans Am had a turbo boost indicator that changed color. Yeah, we had a turbo Trans Am for a very short period of time. It's more that they changed the way they measured horsepower. It went from the flywheel to the rear wheels. Yeah, but still, 178, not wonderful in the late 70s. Nothing about prison, but the IRS says Fitzgerald owes $83 million in back taxes. Oh, you knew they're going to get him somehow on this kind of thing. That once you try to get around this kind of stuff, and even though it's legal, the government still doesn't like it, and so they have to find a way to shut you down. Jeffrey Downs, my uncle still has his 455 HL special order, said 275. That would be 100 less than earlier. I don't know about you, if you could order a 455 high output in 78 in that bodied Trans Am. Sir, why were you swerving GP Trans Go the last 10 miles? I was just looking for the teal trucks. Mark claims don't exist. And the officer will be like, well, they don't exist. There are Facebook groups that search for these trucks. Back in the day, you could rent a trailer fairly cheap, but the terms, I understand, were really strict. Oh, wow. That's a good way. You don't get too many strict trailer references anymore. You trained your dog to look for them. I missed the little wing window on all the cars and trucks. Yeah, they were power for a while. My New Yorker, they were power. Mark, you hear about Schneider trucks stolen in Salt Lake and chase ensued on I-80? No, I didn't hear about that. Was it running at the truck stop? Which everybody does, right? So, although you should have a separate key. Good afternoon, trucking jargon. Dogs are colorblind. Oh, that's the problem. How's he going to be able to tell the difference? To the dog, all the trucks are gray. I'll tell you, the number one thing that stresses drivers the most, according to drivers, is no respect from non-drivers on the road. The non-respect from people that are not drivers, cars, all that kind of thing. What do you think about that? Is that the case? I would have never even thought about that as a stressor because I just assume that, I guess, it's going to happen. I never thought about that. The wing window's awesome. Yeah, if you were smoking, you could at least suck that smoke right out there. It was my classmate's truck, but not from classmates, presumably. I would never think to, the non-respect from cars, that's always been the case, right? So you just got to kind of drive. I would have thought it's the way drivers drive. I mean, why do people have to follow you 2 feet behind you in a construction zone in a single lane? It's 45. It's a 45. I mean, I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. Creed pace 95,000. No, I don't believe it. I can't believe it. I've seen a lot of those GP trucks. Have you seen a teal one, though? Slim Shady was at a Walmart DC in Grantville. Guy dropped stolen SUV and jumped into tractor. Oh, so he truck jacked it. And he's like, oh, I'll take this. And then does he realize it only goes 65 and it's huge? How about that? Wing windows are only good for steering my dad's Pall Mall ashes into my eyes. Well, if you turned them around, you could get the air out of the car. That's what you had. That's what you said all the way to the back of the Fury wagon. The ashes would settle in the back seat. They didn't make it all the way to the back. Rarely we run a GP Trans. We run out of trailers and need to rent 5 to 10 for a month or two. I happen to see one of the premier ones, and nice too. You got an almost new one, and I thought, oh, they're out. They got so much freight. They're renting trailers. That's pretty good. Any word on Mid-America if it's going to happen next year? So far, right now, they're saying it's a go. It's their 50-year anniversary. So, which I didn't even know. So they are saying that, but who knows what happens by then in March? I mean, who knows? The whole COVIDs could close the whole place down. That's what the guy in England said, right? Not at Sear, England, but the country of England, which is apparently over there because I'm pointing over there. But they said, look, he said, if you don't listen to me, basically, I'm going to shut this place down again. So who knows what happened over there? We have 550 trailers, but sometimes there's a need for another 20. Yeah, so you called Premier, and this guy got one of these new Premier trailers, which I thought was pretty interesting. So that wasn't any problem. I just happened to see that. I'm like, wow, you don't see these very often. Oh, there. Of course, Torty also likes these kind of trailers. Torty. You don't see many of those either, especially with a straight line like that down their face. Cute. Even Gracie didn't come in to see this. GP Transco, it sounds like you need a spotter out there at your new headquarters. Ever drive on a wobbly Dayton wheel truck? Those had tubes and 5-spoke. Yeah, early, very early. Wedge lug rim with a split ring. Yes, a disaster. And we're glad that they're gone. I was like seeing those at a truck show. I'm like, oh, where did he find tubes for this thing? Not yet, but the first one who'll know when we do. Yeah, you need somebody to play basketball. Apparently, this guy Trucks, who may still be out there, was playing basketball out there, saw that, and doing good, right? So perhaps we'll have a one-on-one sometime out there, but it's unlikely because we'll have to have paramedics standing by. Maybe. AB5 challenge fails. For all your owner-operators in California, AB5 was challenged by some Uber drivers, but that's all right. They're doing your work for you, because they want it stopped. And their contention was, look, the same as Prime and all these people that lease a truck. So listen to this. Their contention was, look, we signed an agreement with Uber, or I think one of them was Postmates, that we're independent contractors because we signed a contract that says that. And so the court doesn't get to say anything about that. And the court slapped them silly and said, wait a minute. Just because you signed something with your company doesn't mean it's legal. That just came out this week or last week. So just because you sign it, the court is the final determiner of what is legal, and you can't use that to say we're independent because we agree to it. The court said just because you agree to it doesn't mean it passes court muster. And I thought that was great. So they got their case shut down. Another blow to people that wanted AB5 closed and said, well, I signed an agreement. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that was good. Wing window stopped on cars in 1970. On pickups in 86. On semis in 2000. Yeah, I've had them on there, though. My 69 New Yorker had them, and they were electric. So when you press the down button on the window, that thing went down, then the window went down. And then if you went back up, you could roll the wing window back up. It came up first, so you'd have that back up. I thought they were great, and I liked it. Trucking Jargon has a tortoiseshell cat with the same markings. I had a tortie, but she wasn't, symmetrical like that, where it had a line down her face. So, pretty good. Is she a talker too? I'm sure, because they talk a lot. Those Dayton wheels wouldn't wobble if they're installed correctly. They're a mess, though. These wheels today, much better, lighter. GP Transco, do you still have an account at the Scotts plant in Fort Madison, Iowa? Last week was Driver Depreciation Week. Yeah, I did a video about my flashlight. Did everybody get anything for Driver Appreciation Week? And somebody wrote a comment that said, well, all you're entitled to is a check. Okay, on Friday, when you get paid correctly. All right, I agree. But then companies were making a big deal about giving drivers food and, doing all these things for drivers. And my point was that, all right, you're only entitled to a check. I agree. But if they're going to make a big deal about, we appreciate our drivers, they can't then send you out the rest of the year and not pay you. But you have to sit for 3 hours and not get paid. You have to sit over a weekend with no load and not get paid. But hey, here's an old sandwich and a shirt, for your year of unpaid work. That's what I was trying to say about it. Are you only entitled to a check? Yes. But then they should say, look, you're only entitled to a check. I'd rather they did that and were honest about it. At least then we're honest about what's happening. Well, Bill, my everyday vehicle is a 1977 Chevy van, and I use the vent window always. Right. I've seen that. Right. Nice. On 86, Uber and Lyft have spent more than $180 million for Prop 22. I know they're going to try to take it to the voters and get it passed that way because they don't want to pay people properly. Now, are you really independent for Uber when you use your car? Maybe. I think Uber and Lyft have a better case for it than like a lease person from Prime or JCT or any of these other places, because at Uber and Lyft, you can work when you want, and you can use your car to work for other companies whenever you want. So you can do that. Say if you're leasing from Prime or that, Using your truck to get loads off the load board, well, you wouldn't have authority to go put your truck on at another company. That's not really allowed. They're pretty clear about that. They've been sued for that kind of thing. They control your day. They dispatch you. You can't go find your own loads. So they control your day. Uber and Lyft has a better argument, although it's still very tenuous about it. But Prime and that, I don't think that thing wouldn't pass. I think that's why. Question, I'm filling an application for my TWIC. Check yes or no for Merchant Mariner. I don't know. Do you sail the seas, the 7 seas? I would say no. I don't have a TWIC card, so I'm going to say no to Merchant Mariner. What truck and what year was the first full windshield used on a tractor? Oh, I don't know. 80s? Did those Kenworth T600s have a full windshield in the 80s? What's up with Wieners? What'd you miss? Hey, Michael Muller, it's good to see you. I terminated my contract for Driver Appreciation Week. Well, that told them. KLLM and Tyson gave $25 to buy dinner. See, they're another one. Tyson especially, they don't pay attention time. Okay, and KLLM, it's after 4 hours and it's $12 an hour. They can't then say, we appreciate you, and here's $25, but we're going to make you sit on, 100 hours a year and not pay you anything. That's ridiculous. That's what bothers me the most. If they were just honest, they go, look, you're just an employee here. We don't give anything out for this, and at least we're honest. Drove my mini Max CHs, nice with wing windows. They're necessary for the 260 AC. Joe Schmo, right. Our model Max are good for that too. When it's got a window down by your foot that you kick open with your foot and it blows air on, on the undersides. Steven got a nice carry-on bag. Nice. DOT has some cool beer can chillers. Really? And local paraphernalia along with free food at the scales during Driver Appreciation Week. Nice. Hey, here's a beer can chiller. Compliments of the Illinois State Police. My company gave all the drivers a $50 gift card for Target, Columbia, Georgia. That's pretty good. I was thinking gas cards because people have to drive to work, but that's good. Gear Jammer won a $100 gift card from the company in the drawing. I didn't even know there was a drawing. Yeah, how'd you get entered in the drawing? And you win a C-note. Nice. I'll have a pouch of Smart Dust, an Evil Eye, one Dream Catcher, and a pack of Marlboros. Here's my $100. You can work for Uber or Lyft. You can also work for both at the same time. Right. You can work for either one, or you can also work for all of them at the same time. You can put Postmates and all these. You're allowed to do, right? You're independent. So you can work for all these companies all you want. That's tough to do. They're very hesitant about that when you have the truck and you want to put the truck on somewhere else. See how that works. Roll on Big Wiener. That'd be a good song. I would prefer to get 1 or 2 corn raises every year for safe driving instead of a hat. Exactly. How about a raise or, some real money or nothing? But don't be halfway about it. Like giving me a flashlight for $4. Well, who cares? I got a pair of headphones with Bluetooth and MP3 storage. Was that or fruit juicer? What a weird thing. Is this like some trailer that they rolled over and they have all this extra stuff? That's weird. Oh, it's only $10. Oh, okay. I thought it was more than that. 1979 Peterbilt cab over was the first. It had 3 wipers. Yeah, the Pete's had the 3 wiper system on them. Pretty nice. I miss my R model, my 1980. The lower back doesn't. Right. They didn't ride good. Mine was a 5-speed manual. We did a $300 bonus GP Transco to the top 20 that are safe and highly efficient for driver appreciation. So just $300 on the check, not like a gift card like I'm seeing at some places. Just say a GP Transco truck at the Flying Lot in Flying J. The P Flying Lot in Miro Loma. All right. What do you think the biggest expense is at a mega truck stop? I think it's toilet paper or condiments. Both are free, so people use it up. Anytime people are free, they don't. Anything that's free to people, they don't appreciate. So, condiments. Do they still have that stuff? Maybe. Remember when you used to just have to put it in a cup? That'd be better. Toilet paper, probably people steal those gigantic rolls, although not worth stealing. The corporate toilet paper is usually not worth stealing. You eat free food at the scale, we will inspect your truck for free. Yeah, well, you're sitting there eating. They're giving you your beer cooler. Somebody's around back, trying to do a quick inspection. $300 was added to the paycheck. No Red Lobster gift card. That's good, right? Just put it right in somebody's check. Yeah, I'm in. That's pretty good. Pretty good. $300 is pretty much the most I've seen anywhere. Kelly, when you lease a truck from the company, you are essentially paying to have a job. Yeah, you're paying them for a job that has no benefits at these companies where you're leasing from the carrier. When you lease the truck from the carrier, it's not, I haven't found one where you're leasing from the carrier where you run by yourself, because people always write to me from Prime, oh, Mark, I make this money. Yeah, but there's two, you have to train somebody. Where you go out by yourself and make a ton of money. It just doesn't usually work out to be more than a company driver would make with benefits, and it should be. If you own the truck, you ought to make way more than a company driver. You're taking a bigger risk than me. I have no risk. If I go in and the truck doesn't start, I just make a phone call and sit there and get paid until they fix it. If I owned the truck, I'd make a phone call and pay somebody until it got fixed. So, I mean, that's the problem. Unless the freight market's doing extremely well. Well, like today, right. It depends. It depends. But if you're not on percentage, some of these places pay you a flat rate. JCT and that, they're paying a mileage rate. So the rate goes up and the market, the driver doesn't benefit from that. Michael Muller's going to open a trucking company called the Rolling Wiener Express. Roller Wiener Trucking. Oh, that'd be good. RWE. Wiener Trucker got $350 every month of safety and fuel bonus if we don't mess up. Have a record damaged property and maintain fuel of better than 6.9. Wow. That's pretty good too. They used to do $200 a quarter here, and they stopped. It was just a safety bonus. No tickets or accidents. You can get $200 a quarter, and they're like, no thanks. Michael Muller, if you do this, we'll work with you on some co-branding and PR work. We got to be part of GP Transco is in. Maybe you could put his fleet on, because I know you'll take fleets on, into the GP Transco family of companies. Give a good rookie plan yearly. What is a rookie plan? You know, some companies do give this. I've seen this. Companies that give so much every year or so much every 5 years. There used to be a company that give you $10,000 every 5 years, which is amazing. So believe me, at 4 years and 10 months, nobody was quitting. They were getting that. Dave Johnson received a shirt, a sub, and 2.5% pay raise. That's the most important part. So the raise, good. Shirt and sub, still nice. Christopher Robin, what does Dave Ramsey say all the time? It's not a lease, it's a fleece. I agree. Right. You can lease a truck, though, from, I think, a car, because you're not making money with it. You know, it's a depreciating asset, as you would say. But a truck is a business purchase. You know, you're buying it to make money. So because other things you have to buy, if you have an office, you have to buy desks. They would go down in value, but you need them to make the money for the company. So I think a truck, I wonder what Dave would say about that. Somebody needs to call him about leasing a truck and talking about a business purchase versus like leasing your car or whatever like that. I think that'd be interesting to see what he would say about it. Because there are a lot of people out here leasing their truck where they have bought the truck outside of a carrier and make great money. So I know a lot of companies that have a lease purchase program that almost makes sense. Some. Look, a few people have written to me that said, hey, don't put me on my name, but here's my lease deal. But they're at a small place usually. It's not one of these big carriers. The company has 50 trucks and they do a lease purchase and then they made good money. Yeah, so it's certainly possible. Kelly, when I worked for Massachusetts Transportation and their Christmas bonus was $15, I told them to keep that. They needed it more than you did. Yeah. Yikes. $15. Well, you did better than me, though. I only got a flashlight. But at least, it had batteries in it. GP Transco, our drivers each get $5,000 a month for performance, safety, and efficiency, the OTP profit sharing bonus, and another $1,100 for good fuel utilization. Yeah. Does anyone out there remember Husky or Beacon truck stops? Anyone? Yeah, Husky seems like, I do remember Husky. Seems like there's a Beaver truck stop somewhere, right? Steelhorse, no CSA points is $400 a quarter. Perfect. Because that should be easy, right? And that's something you shouldn't be getting anyway. That's why I always thought the safety bonus was an easy bonus to get. You shouldn't get any safety problems. I always remember when OIDA put out their budget form. They had a form for owner-operators that you could download. They probably still have it. And it was a budget form. And it would have different line items, your house expenses. One of the items was fines. I'm like, who budgets for fines? Oh, I need to budget $50 a month for fines. What kind of crazy budget is that? That's the dumbest thing. You don't ever plan to get fines. Swift Knight is merging with Sierra England. Supposedly in Financial where it's a pro-Swift night. Really? People talked that next year, right? I think it's next year is their 100th anniversary at England, and that they were going to either be sold or merge. Wouldn't the government have something to say about this? How big of a place would this make? Yikes. I got to look that up. Swift. Where'd you read that? Did you hear that on the CB? Is that some guy talking over a washing machine at a truck stop? Who said that? Guys, you really connect with the drivers, GP Transco? Why do you think other companies are failing? Yes, exactly. Look, GP Transco has put on a program of talking to drivers, which I find amazing. And other companies, I don't understand why they're not utilizing social media to directly talk with and answer questions for drivers. Even their ads, call us for more information or apply. Who applies to a job with no information about it? Why companies don't use this, I don't get it. But to obtain the standards, you lose pay, you run slower. They pass me, 68. Most of them go 68. So I don't know about that. Husky was big in Canada. Oh, maybe that's why. There's a Husky in Albuquerque. Where's the Beaver? Where's the Beaver going on out there? Insurance breakdown, good driving, jumping company drivers. It's like quitting and just getting another job. Well, you do, but at some point, there's a difference between job hopping and saying, look, enough. At some point you say enough and you move on to a better opportunity. Job hopping is every 6 weeks you just get another job because you're not looking, you don't do any kind of research, but companies close or they're just not what they said they would be. So at some point you have to say, look, I don't care if people think I'm a job hopper. I'm leaving because I can't live on $500 a week or be treated poorly all day. So I think there's a difference. Remember the Orange Ball 76? Sure, there was one in Chicago right there on 94. Or South Side, right? Calumet City there, I think. South Holland. Oh, yeah. That's where I first signed up for a Park and Go. Wise Master G. Nice. Just took a nap waiting to get unloaded, listening. I'm fresh now. All right, you're up, ready to go. Pretty soon you'll be able to take a 2-hour nap and not have it not count against your 14 hours in just 8 days. Low pay, lack of transparency, and not being treated as equal. Unclear. This is just something. I agree, right? Not being treated like a professional driver. When you are say something, it bothers me a lot, right? And somebody in the office questions you, oh, well, and this somebody that's 23 and doesn't know anything. That's not great. That's not great. You need to kind of take what the driver says and run with it, especially if it's somebody that's been there and they know what they're talking about. I've heard Dave Ramsey say a business should lease a copy machine instead of buying it. Columbia George. Yeah, because maybe on the copy machine it gets maintenance or something like that. I think because that's a business deal, right? So it makes the company money. You can get rid of it whenever you want. Yeah. How to cut a driver's pay, cutting mileage or slowing the truck down. I don't see too many companies that are going past 70-ish, really. Usually mid-60s. I remember when the lease program started, most carriers stay away from it until they realize they could get the driver to pay for the equipment. Oh, yeah, some of them embrace it. Prime is a big one. JCT, a lot of these companies, they're like, oh, you know what? We can get new drivers to just pay for our trucks. And they're going to, 80% of them are going to fail, so we'll get the truck back, and they'll have paid a large portion of it. Yeah. I'd like to see every driver get the full bonus. Our drivers get 100%. It's not really a bonus if everybody gets it. It's part of your pay. Is that a U.S. Express shirt you're wearing, Mark? No, this is a Red Classic Trucking. They're the truckload carrier for Coca-Cola. So they have local and over-the-road routes. If you're interested and live in a Red Classic area, which is here, I went and saw them in a hotel here when they were recruiting. They're also all around the country, so check out Red Classic. Yep. Anybody remember highs in their slushies? Ran into one up here yesterday. Highs in their slushies. Hands down the best slushies on the block. No, I don't remember that. If you're paid every month, it's not a bonus. Right. Our base pay is high and about half the drivers get the bonus. Right. It isn't a bonus if everybody gets it. It's just your pay. You just have a higher pay. I remember the Orange Ball before the TA bought them out. Sure, there was one right there in South Holland. Park and View. Everybody remembers that. Do you do truckload or LTL at GP Transco? Remember when truck stops had bunks? Oh, refueled your truck and gave you a wake-up call. Even at a separate snoring room. That was long before I started driving. I've seen videos about this program, but I never got into the bunks or anything like that. that was when drivers all wore uniforms and were paid well, very well. But no, I didn't do any of that. Separate snoring room. I like that. Jerry Mathers owns the Beaver truck stop. Oh, I wish that was true. Bucky says a beaver. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about because it's got that beaver outside there. We just got a brand new 2021. Oh, nice. A 389 at Smith. Ready to go by the end of the year. Can't wait for my new Pete. Or are you going to get that truck? Do you want that truck? I got sick and tired not getting paid from one company after another. Each of them lied and said they paid for things, but found out they didn't. That's exactly why I no longer sit in the seat. It gets aggravating. You go company to company and they say this and they don't do it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at any company, trucking or anything else. If you have a pay plan and it pays these things, why then when people come, don't they get those things? And then these same companies are like, oh, we can't get drivers. I wonder why that is. You can call a company. You should try this. Talk to a recruiter. Write your questions down so you ask them exactly the same way. Call them back later. Get a different recruiter. You'll get different answers. How does that happen? Why wouldn't all the answers be the same? They should all be the same. Different recruiters like, this is even more money? Right. 40 cents, 50 cents. What is going on? Why are they not all the same answers? Each recruiter should be giving you the same kind of answers. Okay, I forgot to say this. Somebody asked about the music at the beginning of the show, and I did. It's called, you go on YouTube Music, which anybody can go on there and get free music to use in your projects, as it says, and it is called Eyes of Glory, and it's free on there. I use it here, and there it is. No attribution required. YouTube has tons of free music that you can use so you don't get in trouble with copyrights or anything like that. And I recommend that if you're going to do anything with music, use music that is free to use. So it's called Eyes of Glory. I vaguely remember 76 truck stops had bunk rooms upstairs many years ago. They were phasing out when I started in 81. You see, I'd started in 88. I don't ever remember seeing the bunk rooms. I guess because I always had a sleeper. Starting out, right? I went local for a short time, then got in the sleeper. And so I always had a sleeper. Maybe they had them and I didn't look for them. I kind of remember the shower room as being one room, kind of like the Y, with a pole and a shower heads around it. And you had to bring your own towels. That kind of remember that. Comfortable Man said, forget it with the industry due to liars one after another. Yeah, now my own business making more money than he ever did. That's always, whenever you control your own paycheck, that's how you make the most money in anything. So follow your passion, right? Okay, GP Transco, if you do LTL in Chicago, your insurance would be through the moon. That would be a disaster. Your bonuses shouldn't be put on your check because they're taxing you on it. If they're not taxing you on it, then that's a true bonus. Well, you can't, a company, a legitimate company, can't give you money without you paying taxes on it. So any company that pays you, you got to pay taxes on it. So that wouldn't be a company. They can't just like give you a suitcase full of cash. That would be nice though. Plus it's my chance to drive a long nose without shelling out the money for fuel. That's exactly correct. So for you, you're not buying the fuel. Drive any truck they give you, right? It doesn't make any difference. Here, when I get a truck, I don't get a fuel bonus. But I've had trucks here that get 6, some get 8. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. They're the ones that buy the truck, so I don't have to worry anything about it. I'd like to see more Beaver on TV. You know, Wally, Ward of June. Hey, they're on. I think they're on every day, right? When I start looking for a new carrier contact, I make a spreadsheet, and they should have the same answer. You shouldn't be able to call back, get a different recruiter, and get a different answer. You already know that company is a problem. Procter & Gamble in Georgia still requires a mask when picking up a load. Do they at least give it to you? And at Procter & Gamble, I mean, they have enough paper there to make masks. Certainly. By now, doesn't everybody have a mask with them by now? I'm sure everybody has a mask with them. I got one in the cars. There's one I take with me. They're all over the place now. I got all these masks. The one I normally have has a cat on it, but I have other ones. I have a Central Perk mask. So I think by now everybody's got a mask, don't they? Where did that all go to? Okay, so right. The TAs in Baltimore got to have hotels attached. Yeah, there's some with a hotel attached, but the truck stops used to have a bunk room in the truck stop, and they would wake you up. The 76 had bunk rooms. So the one over there in South Holland had bunk rooms. When did those end? Do you know? Were you going over there then? I don't ever remember seeing bunk rooms there. And plus, that'd be kind of scary at that one. Yeah, GP Transco, for those that don't know, it's a W-2 regular company. No independent contractor kind of dealio with that. And so here's a soap on a rope. You would have to bring that. Unless you didn't want to use it. Hey, Al Johns, I'm at work. All right, good. How's it going down there? Is there a reefer company that has long-nosed Pete's? Probably. Yeah, Western. Western out of Colorado. They have a lot of long-nosed. Some of theirs are refrigerated. So yeah, absolutely. Comfortable man, got to run. Time to do maintenance on equipment. Be careful out there. Hey, thanks for coming in and saying hello. It's good to see you. Picked up a brand new Blue Parrot B450 XT2 and love it. Wow, what does the 2 get you on that? Yikes, I'm still rocking a 350. What is 2? What did they do extra to it? If you drive one of those reverse-oriented concrete mixers, you really have a long-nosed truck. Exactly. Well, Bill always has a bandana, but you always did anyway. You were always ahead of the curve on that stuff. Smith has Pete's. Yeah, they don't run refrigerated, though, over there at Smith. They're running dry vans. But if you're there at Smith and you get a long nose, it doesn't matter to you because you're not buying the fuel for it. If they want to get better fuel mileage, they should buy a truck that gets better mileage. But if you're buying the truck yourself, you're going to want the most mileage you can get. That's why companies buy Cascadias and stuff. I mean, they want better fuel mileage. I get it. Yeah, it's a pay per mile address to address at GP Transco. It's the way it should be. There's no reason that I can't enter something on my phone that a company can't figure out. Local can be on a daily rate. Company drivers are 74 to 87. Sweet. When you walk into a TA that has a rock step spiral staircase, that's an old 76 truck stop that was bought out. Oh, really? The pool tables and bunk room used to be on the second floor. Nice. Dynamic is the one? Oh, Dynamic. I see their average all the time. The truck stop sleeping rooms are no more. They've all been debunked. I never got a chance to see those. I've seen videos about them, and you'd write your name on a board, bed 3, and this is what time I'm going to go to sleep, I need to wake up or whatever. But they don't do that stuff anymore. Does GP Transco have any day cabs open for local drivers? How many local drivers do you have there? Not that many, right? I mean, it's a road company. Let's be honest about that. Nomad Logistics has all W900s. That would be nice. And if they're buying the fuel, don't care. A Western runs 48-foot reefers, only pays 36 cents a mile, chaining required. Yeah, Michael Muller, that's true. We didn't say anything about pay. Who has long-nosed reefers was the question. Western. Yeah, the pay they don't pay anything and you have to chain up. But you get a nice truck, right? Okay, so I was curious. They only have 10 local drivers. GP Transco really looked for more. You probably get them from the road drivers that live in the area that say, hey, when you have an opening, put me on the list. Absolutely. Then they get to go, wow, I get to go into Chicago every single day. I think I'll go back on the road is probably what happens for some of them anyways, because they can't stop at the 76 and get their cup of coffee like they would have been able to in the back in the day. Are we able to fuel our trucks with the new hours of service during our 30-minute break? Yes. The new hours of service, which goes into effect the 29th. Okay, not today. The 29th. Your break can be anything except driving. So the break can be on duty, off duty, or sleeper berth. Doesn't matter. 30 minutes, you got the break. So you can fuel the truck on duty, and there's your 30-minute break. If it takes you 30 minutes. It might, because the guy in front of you is on his 30-minute break. So you're sitting there. Also remember the old Sapp Brothers. I used to have a Sapp Brothers card. Fina and Bosselman's, right? Bosselman's. I wish Blue Parrot made a headset that fit on a hard hat. Oh, don't they have something bigger for that? You could tape it on. There. Western Flyers leasing both long-nosed Pete's and W900s. I don't think I would be leasing a truck that didn't get great fuel mileage. I mean, think about how much difference it would be to go from 6.5 to 8.5 miles per gallon over a year when you're the one paying for the fuel. That's how you could do it. They can upscale a bonus with more money that will pay the taxes. Okay, Kelly, that's true. So they give you $200 and they go, we're giving you $300 because the rest of it is going to pay the taxes and you still get your $200. That they could do. That's right. Right. They just can't hand you a bunch of cash and go, hey, here's some side money like that. That would not be allowed. We have drivers tell us at GP Transco that they wish we routed their fuel stops. What do you think? Would some drivers prefer this instead of freedom to plan? Really? That must be drivers that have not been in the industry, and they're coming from a company that routed their fuel stops. No way would I want a routed fuel stop. Maybe you could give them a fuel route that's recommended or something like that. But the non-fueling route is the way to go. I mean, I get to decide where to fuel. Like, I have an open card. I can fill up anywhere. So if you pull over somewhere and you're like, oh, this place is full, I'm just out of there. I don't sit there in line. I always thought it was so aggravating to watch drivers pull in a place and they have to sit there because they have to fuel there. So maybe send a fuel route with the recommendations. And those drivers would be happy. They'd be able to better plan their day. And still other drivers could fill up on, however else they plan it there. Alexandra's here. A little late. It's good to see you. That was the day when drivers were clean and no one minded sleeping on a mattress others used. Aviator trucker. That is true. I think today it'd be a little bit iffy going into a room and seeing the drivers come out and then having to sleep there. So that's true. You can always flex the one to your hard hat. I was thinking of taping it on there so you could take it off. So can you make a duty on duty? Yes, but you will be able to do that off duty because you are pursuing an activity of your own choosing. They're the new 2021s. I'm not getting a long nose. Blue Parrot 400 works with a hard hat. There you go. I don't like pre-routing fuel stops. I know. Maybe just a recommendation. That's not a bad idea, maybe. For drivers that are new, that are coming from a carrier that they've only had pre-planned fuel stops, you must have a routing program for that. Plan them out and say, here's where we recommend. And that could just be sent automatically with the loads, and everybody would get it, and they can use it or not. Bonuses are paid in a briefcase at Waste Management. Yeah, nobody questions that place about it. I accidentally cut my arm open today. No fun, Alexander. Yikes. I hope you weren't doing knife practice. I would much rather plan my fuel stops. Mark Fu, exactly. GP Hire out of Massachusetts. Oh, there you go. They do. Super glue and duct tape. Yikes. That's you're pretty tough. I don't know about that. Like Ramboing it up over there. I got a fuel rod and don't mind it, but we're able to get 50 gallons at any other truck stop to get a shower. I'd make it 45 gallons. Then you wouldn't use it for showering. Pre-routing is good as a suggestion. Yeah, as a suggestion, I think it's a great idea. It would help drivers that are transitioning from a company that doesn't give them any autonomy. And then let them figure it out as they go along. Later, they'll see, oh, this place is horrible. I don't like going here or whatever. Yeah, I mean, how much does that save a company when I can plan my own route? Probably a lot. Especially if you say fuel at any Flying J or whatever like that. Any pilot, some are way better than others. Right, Wild Bill, exactly. But I have to head out and give my company some time today so that they can make some money. Don't forget, if you weren't making a Parrot, even a 450 level 2, whatever the heck that is. I do want to thank GP Transco for being here and taking questions today, answering questions. I appreciate it a lot. And so do the drivers here. Believe me, I get emails all the time about it. So thank you for coming in. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. I want to say thank you to Fleet Nav Systems. They're all Geotab all the time. Cash is King Trucking was live 4 times today during my show. So that was really good. You want some information about that? Hey, Cash is King Trucking has got it. And don't forget about Jay tomorrow, live on Tuesday. He does a lot of live shows. He's a friend of the show, and we love Jay over here. So say hi to Jay and tell him Mark sent you. And he'll have to give me $10 for each person. That's that's not true. That I wish. Our fuel stops are planned with the gross vehicle weight in mind. That's pretty good. Fuel stops should be open. That's how it works here. I agree. It saves you so much time with hours of service. Where I'm at, I'm treated like a skilled driver. No pre-route and no fuel route. Yeah, I don't mind them being sent, though. Especially it would help drivers. It would help the drivers that need it. And then drivers that don't need it don't have to, use it or look at it. But it's nice to see or whatever. That's not a bad idea. Just send it automatically. I made a U-turn in Westbury at my Bentley dealer. That was fun. You have your own Bentley dealer? So is that where you get your Bentleys, at that dealership? Oh, they're like waving, hello, Michael Muller. It's good to see you. Christina, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. And Wild Bill, thank you. Would an on-duty be a super duty or a heavy duty? In 1975, it would be a super duty. Oh, George Wilson will not use a bunk room. You might get unwanted company through the night and ain't going to be female. Hey, take whatever you can get. You've been on the road a long time. The years ago, though, it wasn't like it is now in driving. So using a bunk room wouldn't have been such a big problem, and I don't think, as it is now. And you got a wake-up call, not bad. Paul Harris was here. I appreciate you coming in. Trucker Hershey was first the other day, and today Captain Flatbed was here, which I love it. Thanks for being here. Alexandra goes to the hospital or something. Holy mackerel. Thanks for coming in. Imperials NYC was here. I love it. Nomad Trucker, thank you for being here. Trucking Dargan came in today. Kelly, thank you for coming in today. Kelly Patterson. Columbia George was here. Let's see. Gear Jammer, thank you for being here. Let's see, where did I go here? Oh, Joe Schmo, right. I love it. Aviator Trucker, thank you for being here today. And let's see as I roll up the list here. Al Johns, thank you for coming in. Chris 7601. Misty was here. Thank you for coming in today. Let's see, where am I at? I'm losing my spot here. Comfortable Man 12. I hope everything goes good out there. George Wilson was here today. I have to head out to my place. I never get to everybody. Wise Master G, which I love, right? I may see you Saturday. Dave Johnson. Hello there, Donkey Bite Roy Rodriguez. Steel Horse, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate seeing you here today. But I'm going to head out to my place before they yell at me and see what they're doing. Let's see where I click that. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And we will be here through the week. And I'm going to check out this England Swift merger thing. Holy mackerel. That could be like the news of the century. If that's actually going to be going on. That's not something everybody's going to want. So thanks for coming in. And we will see you on the next stream and video.